Coming to you live this Friday morning from Brick City, baby. Newark, New Jersey plays host to the Octagon this Saturday night in a state full of rich fight history, and it all goes down in this very building. The UFC 302 weigh-in show is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. The UFC 302 athletes will hit the scales in just about 10 minutes. So with that, let's get underway. We are so happy to have you here on this UFC 302 morning show. Thank you for joining us. I am your host for the morning, Megan Olivi here, alongside really an all-star panel of just legendary UFC fighters. But the man who made a quick drive over here, making his morning show debut, Jim Miller. Thanks for being here.
I'm happy to be here. Yeah, this is awesome.
Sparta, New Jersey, not too far.
Yeah, not too far. About an hour dead west.
All right. Well, we love it. Obviously, you represent the state well. Record holder in the UFC and former champion Chris Weidman is with us as well. Not too far either.
Let's go. I'm the champ of this show, and I'm back. Let's go.
I don't even know how that works. I don't know how that works because there are times when you are on the show, you win the belt. If you miss a show, you don't get the belt back.
Yeah, you do.
And Megan didn't have to introduce me because you know who I am. You know who I am, Chris.
That's right. Hall of Famer, former double champion, Daniel Cormier.
Oh, you didn't have to do that.
I feel so honored to be here today.
No.
In a building that I used to really have some good times in.
Really?
This is where my college played basketball.
Well, I was trying to tell Chris that Seton Hall has won 3 NCAA titles.
This is not what happened. I honestly came out and I said, did you know that Seton Hall was a 2-time national champion in basketball? He goes, no, there's no way. And I was honestly making it up. I had no idea. And then we Googled it. They actually won the championship 3 times.
Yeah, we're great at basketball. NCAA didn't
It was
win
like in the
tournament
70s
this year,
though.
but it's fine. Anyway, we're not bitter. Guys, and since we're in New Jersey and I am here, we're going to eat.
Oh, let's go.
And so there's a big debate. Jim, are you team Taylor ham or team pork roll?
I'm a northerner, so I am a team Taylor ham. Yeah.
Correct answer. That's the correct answer.
Look, can you explain this whole thing?
Sure.
So I'm from Long Island. It's not that far away, but we have no idea what the Taylor ham versus the egg roll thing is.
This is Taylor. Oh, why do I have? Oh, okay. Oh, we're doing.
Oh, wow.
One Taylor ham, one pork roll. Essentially, they're the same thing,
Yeah.
though, right? Like, I didn't. Do we still even identify them separately? I don't know.
I feel like there's a little bit of semantics involved, right? Taylor ham is technically pork roll, but it's like going to a restaurant and ordering a cola. You're going to order a Coke or a Pepsi.
What's the
Taylor
difference?
ham's the brand name.
So
What's the difference?
So
What's the
they are
difference?
identical. They're identical.
They are the same thing.
It's
So
the same thing.
what is the one that's darker, the darker meat because it's
I don't know because I just ordered Taylor ham. It's kind of the argument.
No, but they're
of
the
which do you
same.
order.
They're the same. He's saying they're the same.
Yeah,
but
the
one
name.
seems to
different
have
names.
hot sauce on it.
So it's usually
Well,
a
we got it
breakfast
on a
thing.
roll.
It's like a sauce, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup, but it's
100%.
But it's with Taylor ham.
What do you say? Just ham?
I don't do ham. Egg,
Yeah,
and cheese.
it is like strictly Jersey. It doesn't even go outside of Jersey.
I never even really heard of it.
In college, Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. That's what everyone orders when they don't feel so good in the morning.
That's right, yeah.
Because they were studying for exams.
Okay, so as the resident foodie here,
Okay.
I just tasted this one on the left side. Well, it seems like I'm eating the
Which
same.
one are you eating?
I don't even know if we know which one we're eating.
I just know that.
I don't think they're different.
I think this is the same right there.
Okay, I like this one. I think this is the Taylor. It looks like ham, so I'm gonna call this one the Taylor ham. It's got some
I
cheese
don't
on
have
it.
enough
It's really
hands
good.
for this.
Yo, Jim, just shut him up right now.
Hey.
Fill him in.
I was going to say he was wrong, but then he said it was really good.
Oh,
If
this
I'm
one's
being
better.
honest,
This one's better.
It's the one with this one, right? Mm-hmm. I think. Okay.
This on Girl Taylor.
Hey, we've had some shit food on this show. Let's just be honest. I mean,
Not
we had-
under my watch,
Have
sir.
we?
bro, poutine. You remember poutine?
Is this Canada? Did we
It
do
was.
that? Oh yeah, you're
oh
right.
my
We did
God.
do
This
poutine.
one is so good.
Oh, that was crazy.
It was poutine with so much syrup on it, Joe. You would not have believed the syrup. And I looked to the side, and Chris has got syrup just
You know what?
dripping
You know
down
what
his face.
poutine is?
I know what poutine
It
is.
was
Yeah.
fries and
Yeah,
gravy.
fries and gravy and cheese. Yeah.
I don't know
Keep
if there's
eating, but
syrup on the poutine. He might have
let's
made
do
that
our
up.
jobs here. Let's take a look at the prelims for UFC 302. You guys keep eating.
All right.
I will try to get through this without spitting all over myself. All right, this is your prelims, which you can watch on ESPN Plus. ESPN2 and UFC Fight Pass. We've got flyweights to get us started for the night. They want to set the tone. There is some heat on this second fight of the night. They've got bad blood between them. Perez versus Edwards. Mickey Gall makes his return to the octagon. Phil Rowe, we know we love a Phil Rowe walkout song, so hopefully we get another good one this time. A great lightweight matchup. Daniel, I know you like this one. Grant Dawson versus Joe Selecki. Heavyweights return, 7 versus 13, and then the middleweights round us out. But for the main card, we've got 2 welterweight bouts to get us started, then a middleweight where Kevin Holland returns up to 185, a co-main event that is 5 rounds we're all looking forward to, and of course, our main event. I'm being told we've got athletes on the scale or ready to get on the scale. Let's take a look at who's waiting. Is that what we're doing next? Who knows? I don't host this often. I don't even know where.
That is kind of what we do.
Oh, it's time for John Anik. John,
you know what? Okay.
Remember when you were such a great host of the show and then they let me in this chair? So, hi.
Hi, good morning. How's everybody doing? Jim Miller looks like a goddamn fucking lumberjack out there. He looks great.
Doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
So
He
good.
really just brings the class here. John, yesterday, I've got to commend you. You did a beautiful job with the face-offs. I'm just curious, what was your reaction to what was going on between Islam and Dustin and the bad blood that ensued?
Well, thank you, MJ. I let it breathe a little bit, in part because I didn't think either fighter was actually going to put the fight in jeopardy and strike the other man. But it was a lot of Dustin sort of saying, you're just going to shoot at my legs, and Islam responding in kind. But as Daniel Cormier well knows, when you drop the word motherfucker in front of these Russians, it doesn't land softly, and that was the jumping off point for the interaction. But it only served to, I think, build the fight. It was very exciting for me as just a mixed martial arts fan to be in that environment. And, you know, in retrospect, I'm glad we let it breathe a little bit, and we'll see what happens here Saturday night if Dustin can actually pull this thing off.
Petition to let you always do the face-offs, but you just mentioned, can Dustin pull it off? I mean, this is really the tale of somebody who's always been on the cusp and then a champion who has defended his belt several times. For you, what are you most looking forward to in terms of the matchup for this main event?
Well, Islam Makhachev, and I am losing you every other word, MJ, so I think you were asking me about Islam here. But Khabib Nurmagomedov retired at 13-0 in the UFC, and Islam Makhachev this weekend is chasing a 14th successive win in the octagon. So you're starting to hear Islam Makhachev being mentioned with these all-time great lightweights like Khabib, like BJ Penn. But you can't be flat on fight night. Oftentimes I invoke the name Floyd Mayweather, right? You have to be perfect every night. Kamaru Usman was nearly perfect, right? Chasing down Anderson Silva until he wasn't, right? It's hard to not be flat on fight night, and I think Dustin's really going to force the issue early. And as you guys know, every round begins on the feet. I don't think Dustin needs this for his legacy, but I really think he's going to go for it, and I think maybe there's going to be even more aggression and more urgency early than we've seen from Dustin Poirier previously.
Interesting. I love that. And both men said they believe it's going to end within 3 rounds. And speaking of, you know, having multiple rounds to get work done, I mean, this co-main event scheduled for 5, Sean and Paolo. There is so much to be intrigued about, essentially also what's on the line. But for you, why do you like this matchup for the both of them?
All right, so I see the lower third says Sean Strickland, Paulo Costa. Megan, you look great. I'd imagine you asked me here about the co-main event. I was asked at the press conference who has more to gain from this fight, and I didn't think it was a particularly great question, right? Sean Strickland is putting his #1 contender status on the line against Paulo Costa here. I love the fact that Costa's fighting twice in a year for the first time since 2017, but he's got to be urgent, right? I don't know that he wants to play the long game with Sean Strickland. Perhaps he can get that proverbial second win, but I want to see an urgent Paulo Costa recognize that if he's going to fight for the world title a second time, this is one he's got to have. He's got an opportunity to be the #1 contender essentially on Monday. You got to go for it. Easier said than done against that shell guard of Sean Strickland, but that's the fight of the night for me. I can't wait.
I love it, John. I know you can't hear me, so I'm going to say goodbye to you. That is the captain of our ship and the best broadcaster in all of sports, John Anik. Had no audio over there at the host hotel and yet still totally pulled it off like a pro. Daniel, you and I get to work all these broadcasts with him. He's just the absolute best.
Yeah, he's as good as they come in terms of broadcasting and recognizes the game and knows the game as well as anybody. One of the keys, right, and you saw the bad interaction between Islam and Dustin, is that word, right? When you say mother effer, they take it literal. And they feel like you're insulting their mother. And as you guys know, Khabib walked away because his mom said, hey, you said you would do this with your father, not by yourself. Yeah. So that's how much they mean to them. And you could see it immediately click on Islam's face where it looked like he wanted to grab him. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, because I mean,
because in our culture, it's not that big.
Like, but if someone was talking trash about your mom in the face-off, you're gonna get pissed off.
Yes.
But if they say motherfucker to you, you're not taking it.
It's not
like
that big a deal.
It's not about your mother. It's not about anybody's mother.
Listen,
it's just like a
right.
term.
Nobody's mom, but Dustin Poirier's mom is probably watching this weigh-in, and I am told he is ready to get on the scale. He's our first athlete.
Here comes Dustin the Diamond Poirier. You know, Dustin Poirier spoke a lot about finishing his story, right? Being the guy that ends and puts a capstone on everything that he's done in his UFC career. As John said, I don't believe that he needs the UFC championship. He will always be remembered. We're talking about a guy that has tremendous striking, tremendous grappling, and he is all across the leaderboards in the UFC's history.
155, the official weight for Dustin Poirier.
155 for DP. DP is one of those guys that we have long seen work tirelessly to put himself in position to be world champion. He has another opportunity on Saturday night, but it feels like this will be his last opportunity to try to become a UFC world champion.
And I think he's very well aware of that as well. I mean, he's made no mistake that it will be difficult to climb back up the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Former undisputed UFC middleweight champion and now the #1 ranked contender, Sean Strickland.
Here's Sean Strickland. You know, I sat down with Sean Strickland the other day, and just his presence has grown so much since he got to the UFC. His belief in himself, his ability to understand what it will take. 185 for Sean.
The official weight for the former champ,
his ability to recognize what it takes to be the best in the world and pursue it in his own personal way is so different. One thing you will never mistake about Sean Strickland is him trying to pretend he's someone he's not. You're always going to get him in his truest form. He's the best.
Here comes Islam. You know, like you were saying, he's going to potentially have his 14th win in a row here at lightweight. Khabib going 13-0. He's leaving a huge mark on this lightweight division, and he's definitely in the top 3, in my opinion, lightweights all time.
It's huge for him to get on the scale this early. I know the weight cuts are very hard for him, and we have seen him. It always looks like he's struggling, but he looked better than normal.
It's a great point, very early for him.
Hi, this is Mickey Gall, fighting out of Greenbrook, New Jersey. Jim, you know you're my big brother, favorite fighter. But who gave you the worst injury in training of your career?
Yeah, you know, Mickey and I were sparring in 2014, a few weeks before I fought Yancey. And he threw a hook. I came in to body lock him, and I ran into him and gave myself whiplash. And it ended up messing my neck up for a while. He's coming off of a back surgery. He hasn't fought in 2 years. Really excited to see Mickey back.
He is the 15th ranked welterweight contender. Kevin Trailblazer Holland.
Hey guys, it's your boy Kevin Trailblazer Holland here, fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas. ADC, who wins in a fight? Me or Wyman? That's kind of awkward. He's sitting next to you, huh?
You know, I don't really want to answer that question, but you know what's good is that Kevin's been fighting at 170, so I don't have to answer the question. Kevin Holland is a guy that fights anytime, anybody, anywhere. He's so fun.
He's fighting at middleweight.
Yeah, he's fighting at middleweight.
He's fighting 185 today, but he's been fighting 170.
I got what you were saying.
I love it that he bounces around.
Megan,
I want to do that
smart.
more.
Wyman's not. Hey, Basil Hafez
Loved
fought
his
a
fighter
tremendous.
meeting.
Oh God, what a great guy, right? His fighter meeting, he was very present. He's very aware of the challenge ahead of him. A lot of times, these young athletes can fight a guy like Jack Della in their UFC debut on short notice with nothing to lose, fight well and get lost in it. Hafez.
170, the official weight for
170
Basil Hafez.
Hafez understands what he did, but he's got to put it all behind him because now he's actually starting his UFC career. A lot of times, you get lost in the sauce, right, Chris? Because you beat a good guy or fight a good guy close. You don't imagine Mickey can fight you. He knows how hard it will be on Saturday.
Flyweights are getting our night started, Jim Miller.
Yeah. Mitch is making his UFC debut here. Guy from the Northeast. Definitely looking to make a splash in the division here. You know, it's always tough making that UFC debut, but yeah.
125, the official weight for Mitch Raposo.
He made an appearance on Dana White's Contender Series as well as the Ultimate Fighter. I think it was season 29, Team Volkanovski. Got a lot of experience from that, but this is what he's always dreamed about.
Yeah. It's been difficult working his way back to this moment, and he's excited about it.
Live on ESPN2, the Fresh Prince, Phil Rowe.
So Phil Rowe, man, he's a big dude for welterweight. He brings a lot to the table, rangy striker. He was on a 3-fight win streak, and he lost a razor-thin close decision to Neil Magny, so he's looking to get back in the win column here.
171.
171, the official weight.
I remember Dana saying,
Phil Rowe.
we talk?
That was old man.
That was amazing. You were like, is he
that?
really playing that right
And I
now?
love
It's
Phil
amazing.
Rowe. Dude, Phil Rowe's podcast, amazing. You should go listen to his podcast. He's so funny.
Oh, I love that you're giving it a shout out.
Yeah, and you know, usually I keep the YouTube shout out for myself, but I give one to Phil Rowe. It's good.
From the Republic of Moldova. He doesn't like I think there's some other countries around there that people get confused where he's from, but he's from Moldova. He is kind of a rare breed at heavyweight because he's known more for his wrestling and his jiu-jitsu.
265, the official weight for Alexander Romanov.
And with this fight, it's gonna be exciting to see how it goes down because both guys have that going for them, where they're both good with wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Romanov is sometimes he looks so strong, and other times he looks a little like
He's big. He's big though. He's heavy.
In the UFC's welterweight division.
What's up, my name is Randy Brown. I'm fighting out of Queens, New York, and I filmed this thing called A Tiny Office, and I always wondered, DC, would you be able to fit in my tiny office?
Definitely not.
That sounded a little shady.
Well, stop it.
Rude boy, Randy Brown.
So, Rude Boy, love him, but Action Bronson fit in tiny office. If Action Bronson fit in tiny office, I'm fitting in tiny office.
Exactly.
You're saying you're smaller than Action Bronson?
I'm not shorter than Action Bronson, but Action's bigger than me.
That's a first. You're actually
Shout out to
taller.
Action Bronson.
That's
His new
amazing.
sneakers are out today.
Action Bronson's the man.
I got them
He is
early,
the
though.
man.
They're over there.
Oh, who do we got?
Jake Matthews.
Oh, Jake Matthews. Yeah, dangerous everywhere. He's coming off a decision loss.
170, the official weight for Jake
He's been fighting in the
Matthews.
UFC for a long time. He's got 19 fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I remember when he was coming
Super
up. He was
experienced.
like the
Small,
number one
young guy.
prospect.
yeah,
This guy's really
made his
good.
debut, I think, at 19.
Very
In
well-rounded.
the welterweight division, Eliseo Zaleski dos Santos.
We got Dos Santos coming to the scale now. Hasn't lost since 2020. Dangerous striker with over half his wins coming by KO. This is another guy
170, the official weight for
that's born in the
Eliseo
80s. I like
Zaleski
seeing
dos
that.
Santos.
I like seeing that, you know?
Same here.
Like, so,
It seems like they're all so young now.
well,
Were you born in the
we're
70s
old,
or-
DC.
I was born at
But also-
79, bro.
Oh,
That
my
I
God.
pushed right up against the end. Yeah.
I very much envy his eyebrows, though.
In the middleweight
Not that anyone
division,
cares about that, but I
Roman
just need to say it
Kopylov.
on air. Roman Kopylov, all right, well, his last fight with Fluffy Hernandez, he had a strong first round. He's won 4 of his last 5, and he really talked about crediting the Universal Fighter
185, the official weight for
helping him
Roman
get on that
Kopylov.
4-fight win streak and evolve. Great striker, loves to throw kicking attacks, and working on some wrestling there in Dagestan. Great place for it.
Yeah,
The welterweight
and he's going
division,
against a really good
Nico
striker,
the
too.
Hybrid Price.
All right, guys, well, Nico Price, father of 6.
Yeah.
And you're all dads here, and I
And
just felt
7th
like
on the way.
Wow.
It's unbelievable, and
must
he
be a
loves
crazy
every
outfit.
second of it. He actually faced Morono back in
170, the official weight
2017.
for
That
Nico
was a no
Price.
contest. He's been trying to get a fight since September. He told us Jeremiah Wells was his original opponent, but in comes Morono. Yeah, and he is excited for the return. He said he was begging at one point. He
All right,
loves
next up,
to
back
fight
that
in with
featured bout
7 babies.
On the main card on pay-per-view,
Got to be
the
ready.
middleweight division,
Yeah.
we welcome Michal Oleksiejczuk.
Okay, I loved when he came into our fighter meetings, and I loved Michal on Embedded. He was so happy to be in New York City and see the Statue of Liberty, and of course he was getting stopped for photos. It was really cool to see. He
185,
just
the
appeared at
official
UFC
weight for
299.
Michal Oleksiejczuk.
So a relatively quick turnaround, and I'm getting word from our producers that his opponent Kevin Holland will be ready for an interview in just a couple of
All right,
minutes.
next fighter
Hopefully
to the
he'll be able
scale,
to hear us, but
competing in the women's
looking forward to that
bantamweight
one.
division, Eileen Perez.
Aylan Perez out of Argentina. She is not afraid of the limelight.
She's a great
She's
fighter,
got
I
3
mean.
first-round finishes. She's on a 2-fight win streak.
I love her. She's a
You
great
love her,
fighter.
huh?
She's a great fighter.
So
It has
you
nothing
follow-
to do with
you
anything
follow
else
her.
except
Eileen
No,
Perez.
ability to be
Eileen
octagon.
Perez. Let me tell you something. Eileen Perez, one of my favorite fighters. Love how like much fun she has.
Yeah, no,
She has an
no.
opportunity to fight in the UFC, and you know her post-fight interviews are.
Yeah, no,
classic.
it's
She jumps
about what
on
she
you.
says.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
well spoken. Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
the content and quality of the speech afterwards. Yeah, no, that's what you like the most, do you see?
It's like you're running into the octagon to
All
do
right,
the
next
interview.
fighter
You
to
never
the
get up
scale,
after.
his second UFC appearance, the other half of that featured prelim in the middleweight division, Cesar Almeida.
You know, yesterday when we talked to Almeida, he reminded me that I met him at Henry Cejudo's house doing an interview between Henry and Aljamain Sterling. And the first thing he told me was, I've beaten Alex Pereira multiple times. So then he makes his UFC debut, and unbelievable performance. A tremendous striker, big power, and he has the confidence. You know, a lot of times you hang out with Henry and Eric Albarracin, and the confidence could be a bit misguided.
185, the official weight for Cesar Almeida.
The confidence can be a little misguided, but when you have done what this young man has done, you have earned that confidence, and you walk with a step. You walk with a step, like you're the man.
What kind of step?
And he's drinking like that big stepper. We call them big steppers. You know, that's what we call them we call them big steppers in my community.
We got a big stepper right now joining us. Kevin Holland, I believe, is on the line from the host hotel. Kevin, 185, not a huge cut for you. What did this morning feel like compared to 170?
It was super easy. You know, kind of walked around, made weight, and I'm here.
I love it. Okay, so we are facing Michel Oshechuk. For you, was this name a surprise when the UFC offered it to you?
Nah, I was like, after MVP beats me, I want the can treatment. So they gave me a can. I'm happy with it.
Kevin, that's what I wanted to say about that last fight. It was frustrating, right? Because Venom Page doesn't really attack much, but this guy will. Are you excited about a guy that's actually going to push the fight so that you can find opportunities to take him out?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I'm happy that the guy's going to come forward. I guess I got to learn how to get better at tracking something down, but overall, I'm just happy to fight. I don't care what type of style it is.
Yeah. So, Kevin, you know, you have gained this reputation as a guy that fights anybody, anytime, anywhere. Is that what you intended your career to be? Because you've won a lot of big fights, but you only do that because you take the opportunities presented in front of you. Like, are you doing that consciously? Like, hey, I'm going to fight anytime it's offered to me.
Yeah, I mean, we get paid a good amount, but I got big bills, so I fight as much as I can so I can pay those big bills.
What's up, Kevin? This is Weidman. You know, you're famously known for that Wonder Boy fight. You guys made an agreement. It was just going to be stand-up. There was going to be no wrestling. This guy, Oshechuk, he's struggled with wrestlers and jiu-jitsu guys. And we know you're a black belt on the ground. Like, is it a possibility we see you taking this guy down and trying to lock up a dart stroke or something?
Well, I mean, I only made that agreement with Wonder Boy because he was complaining nobody wanted to strike with him. So I figured I'd strike with him. But I didn't make that agreement with MVP, so I took him down in the second round. So, yeah, whatever comes across, I'll take it. I just want to get 2 checks and dip off.
For the record, his wrestling's gotten a lot better.
I know, because he worked with you.
Thank
right?
you.
It wasn't me. No, it's Johnny Hendricks.
You take the credit?
He got some guys out in Texas that have helped him. He's doing good. He's gotten better.
Any crime stopping recently? I haven't seen, like, usually you're stopping some crime. There's some things going on. You're making sure to put bad guys in jail.
Look at the red.
What's going on?
Look at the one with the red light, dude.
I am. That's
you. More likely trying to avoid the law instead of helping the law.
So, Kevin, you're a guy that has fought at 170s a bunch and fought at 185s now. I've had the opportunity once to go up in weight. Do you feel that there's any advantages or disadvantages in going up in that weight class?
A happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. I'm always happy at 85, so that's a good thing. So that could be about it. I got more butt back there, so I got a little more knockout power.
All right, I like how that works out for you. Kevin, before we let you go, you said something interesting this week, and I wanted to ask you about it. You said it's more about Kevin and not about your opponent. So what does Kevin need to do? What are your expectations for yourself?
Kev just has to go out there and do what Kev does. I think this guy loses to Kev no matter what. So Kev just has to do what Kev does, and it'll be smooth to go.
Excellent. Well, have fun out there. I have no doubt that you will. Thank you for always being so fun to chat with. We appreciate you, Kevin.
Thank you.
He's much nicer.
I appreciate you guys.
Look at him with a smile.
I know.
Not one frown.
He feels better.
Yeah.
You got Joe Selecki about
Joe Selecki, yep. Joe, he's one of the best, like, pure grapplers
155,
in the UFC,
official
in my
weight
opinion.
for Joe Selecki.
He competes in grappling events all the time, does super well. You know, guy's he's dangerous, absolutely dangerous on the mat. This is a great fight.
I train with him a bunch because he trains out of North Carolina.
That's what I was just going to say.
His jiu-jitsu game is solid.
Yeah.
And, you know, in his last fight, he latched on an armbar and he got slammed on it. I think he grew from that. Mm-hmm. You learn a lot when you get into those type of positions. So I'm excited to see how he comes back from that.
Yeah.
He told us if that was going to happen 100 times, he would still go out all 100 times and try to change the result. So I loved that attitude from him.
You guys ever wonder what happens to these things after?
Do you want to take one home?
Yes.
Okay. We'll make sure we get that on the
Sean
plane
Strickland,
for you.
I'll put him on my porch. After you won't come to my house.
Decorated for different holidays. Yes,
That's the best security you could get.
Absolutely think you need to do that. Okay, it is time for our first game of the day. Anytime, any place, anywhere. Honestly, all I could think about was Janet Jackson when I was reading this.
Anytime.
Thank you. Any place.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to get fired
DC's
from this
got a
job
great
before the show's even over. All right, well, Kevin Holland returns to the octagon this Saturday in the middleweight division, where his last fight came in 2021. But you know, weight classes don't matter one bit for Kevin Holland. He's going to fight anyone, anytime, any place, like Daniel Cormier said during our interview. So this fight actually came together on less than a month's notice. I don't know if you guys saw that. So it's really about following in footsteps of guys like Cowboy Cerrone, who also had the very same motto. So I want to hear your active top 3, anyone, any place, anywhere, starting with Jim Miller.
Kevin Holland has to be my number 1. Guy that fights at 170s and 85s. This is a short notice fight coming in here. Coming off of 2 losses too. Puts a little more pressure on you. Number 2, I think it's got to be Alex Pereira. Another guy that's like, I mean, he just came into the UFC very recently, fighting anybody that's in front of him, fighting the best guys in the divisions. My number 3, I think is Sean Strickland. Yeah, like he doesn't seem to care. So
he doesn't care. That's one thing he doesn't.
I don't think he cares who's in front of him.
Did you just memorize that? Do you have notes?
I might have notes, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, he just remembers all his lists. I don't even remember half the things I wrote. Chris, who do you got?
All right, we got at number. I went with 1 weight class. I just felt like it was the right thing to do. So number 1, we got Gaethje. I mean, obviously this guy is
That's
down
3
to fight
weight classes,
anytime.
by the
He'll
way.
fight.
Connor's 70, Max is 45.
I mean, they have all fought 155, right? They've all fought 155.
They've touched the
Gaethje
same
and
weight class.
Holloway,
Yeah.
they just fought.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Connor has fought Max. So
At
boom,
145.
It's okay. They're all kind of the same weight class.
Yeah.
Number 2, Holloway. I mean, obviously he's going to be fighting anytime, any place, anywhere. And then Connor, he's notorious. You know, the Dana White phone calls to him. You know, days notice. Okay,
Wait.
you got a new opponent, and he doesn't care. Answer the phone.
Okay, wait.
Go ahead.
Now, I
Bring
don't
it
like.
on.
I gotta do. You know when you do this, you're frustrated. They said anytime, anywhere, active UFC fighters. Connor's fought once in 3 years. Is that
He's
active?
fighting in July.
But I mean, he
he's
fought
fighting in
once
June.
in 3 years,
He's
bro.
fighting like this month.
Active UFC fighters. He's fought once in 3 years.
You know what it's like to break your leg
You
in
could
half?
literally put Jim Miller on there.
Oh,
no,
you went
you-
there.
Lean
You don't
into
know
it,
what it's
Chris.
like.
Lean
Yeah.
into
You
it.
don't know what
Okay,
it's like.
that's the
You can feel
best.
bad.
Yeah,
Lean
you're right.
into it.
You're right. I'm sorry.
You don't get it. You
I'm
obviously
sorry.
don't get
I
it.
really don't.
You should change your list now.
I
if you
don't.
really
I
care.
need to put Conor McGregor on my list.
Yeah, 100%.
You have 2 working legs, Daniel Cormier. How
know.
dare you?
How dare you say
you?
something?
They're working now.
Okay, I'm so
Is
sorry.
it my turn or RJ?
RJ.
Okay,
My
go
turn.
ahead.
Back of the line, buddy. You can wait. My top 3. How about the guy who fights so well and so often in anybody that he got a nickname that Bruce Buffer won't even say because it's so dangerous? Jim Miller.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
clearly,
we started 3.
That's
okay.
up there. Number 3.
My bad.
Number 2, I can't do a show without messing my girl.
You're such
Jessica
an ass
Andrade.
kisser.
She does fight a lot.
Love
Three
that.
different
I
weight classes.
absolutely
3
love
different
that.
weight classes, right?
Short
Lose the title,
notice,
short notice,
yes.
any weight class.
Look at
Apex,
Megan get
legit.
excited.
Well,
Doesn't matter
represent
where.
for
He's
the
going
ladies.
around. Am I going to like the 3rd one?
Kevin Holland. The whole reason why
Yes,
we're doing this
yes.
list. Anytime, anywhere.
All right, yeah.
Hamzat Chimaev on
That was
24
pretty
hours
cool.
notice.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
no problem.
Okay.
Here's your list.
All right.
All the same
for
weight
me.
class too.
Yeah, it was
All right,
junk.
For me. At number 3, Alex Morono fights everybody. I'm not going to be surface as you guys.
And he's on
Alex
this card.
Morono fights all the time. Anytime somebody needs an opponent, short notice, late notice, call Alex Morono. He'll do it. It's fine. Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen fought against Chito Vera, right, when he didn't need to. He's number 1 contender. Beat him. Chito gets the title fight. He's now fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. He's number 10 in the world. Nobody wants to fight Umar. Corey Sandhagen's fighting him at number 2, the number 1 contender. So Corey Sandhagen fights anybody, anytime. And at number 1, Kevin Holland. If you are scheduled to fight on Saturday, and it's against Tony Ferguson, they say, hey, Hamzat needs an opponent to go and fight Hamzat. That's crazy. Kevin Holland's number 1 as the great white Alex Morono walks on the stage.
170, the official weight for
white.
Alex
Look at him.
Morono.
Alex Morono. I'm partial to him because in his gym, there's a massive 30-foot poster of DC holding the title in his gym.
Yeah, no.
But I also love that he fights anybody anytime.
He's a tough dude, man. Anytime he's out there, you know it's going to be a good one.
You know what's kind of crazy, too, about Morono? When you look at him, right, he doesn't look like he's going to be as good as he is.
Absolutely.
The way he fights is very odd. He's always kind of bouncing around and looking odd, but he beats people, and he can knock you out, and he's in every single time he's in there. It's crazy.
He just loves martial arts.
Yeah.
He teaches every single day. He loves being a part of the community. So jumping into these fights, he's always on the mats. It's not really a problem for him.
How good was that list, though, Chris? I didn't do surface.
I can't get over that you just, like, killed his style. Like he's bouncing up on his toes. He's awkward.
It's a little awkward style. He'll tell you it's awkward.
Yeah.
I've watched him train before. It's not like Wonder Boy, but it's not like Wonder. It's not like Wonder Boy bouncing where it looks pretty. Morono's like, it's not great, but I'll kick your butt.
I try not to judge fighters' ability on the way they look, the way they bounce.
Thank you.
Not judging people by the way they look.
Thank you, Jim.
Excellent.
Jim is Team Weidman.
I've done that twice. I've done that
Salt
twice.
of the earth.
I've done that twice. Eileen Perez and now.
You did this with Duplessis, too.
In a 10-minute
I did it with Duplessis.
You killed Duplessis.
I talked about Duplessis
just
style
because he
like
looks
it was
awkward.
the worst style in history. Dude's the world champion.
But also,
we talked to him about that?
Can we just say Dricus Duplessis can sing?
Oh,
No,
right.
he can't. Shut up.
He was on The Masked Singer in South Africa,
But
and
his
he did
mask
so
was
well.
on. Do we know that was actually him
So I
singing?
think that's the whole point. Is that not the point of the show?
No, but if that was him,
You know what?
he has a voice of an angel.
So you don't judge on looks. Chris is very judgmental on talent and abilities.
Yes, I
see.
am.
Okay.
There's a high level that.
Right,
He's
okay.
just talking.
Have you heard me sing?
No, I haven't.
I got something for you later. I got you some Trinity Gold. The next thing is you hear me sing nothing but that's
Yeah, I do a pretty
Daniel
good Neil
brags about
Diamond,
his
so.
voice of an angel.
No,
I'm just
Daniel is
saying.
actually not bad.
No, stop. Let me just say this. Though.
I'd
Let me
love
say this.
I'd love to hate on
Before
him,
we
but
move on to the next thing,
because
they're going to tell you in your ear.
They already did multiple times.
Dude, okay, just I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Move on. I don't want to get in trouble.
We were talking about Kevin Holland. That's how this whole thing got started. He's moved up to 185. We've seen him kind of bounce between the two weight classes. What is the better division for him?
I don't know. I think it's it all comes down to the fighter specifically. Like, I always felt better in training when I was walking above 185. When I was like 85 to 190 back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Miller?
Like, I was a little beefy down
155.
below, right? Like, and I felt so much better. I had more power.
A little beefy down below.
Not touching that.
A little bit of a
let
dump
that just
truck,
go.
Like,
was trying to.
I felt like I had more power. The conditioning was there. But then, like, when I would clinch the bigger fighters, my brother and all the other 85ers and 205ers that I would train with, I felt so much better in the clinch. So I honestly, I think it's a very personal thing, like where your body does better. And I think a lot of times fighters get sucked into that, like, I'm going to go lower, I'm going to go lower, I'm going to go lower. And there's a trade-off. It beats you up.
Yeah.
And when I fought Donald Cerrone the second time, we fought at 170, I felt absolutely fantastic walking into the octagon. Like it was just a regular training day. There was no like, I just dehydrated myself. Your legs feel a little bit, just a little bit.
I think the nerves are weak because you're nervous.
Yeah,
the legs feel a little weak.
Dude, I didn't. Maybe it was that too. I didn't feel any of that day. Because all week I'm eating normal.
I think sometimes it comes down to the style too. I think if I had to put it in a box, I think if you're more of a grappler and wrestling base, I think the extra weight helps. But if you're a striker and you got to be light on your feet and have better cardio, I think it helps to be a little bit lighter. Like Wonder Boy, he's not as good of a fighter if he's heavy. Like he likes to be lighter. So, but wrestlers tend to, like, the extra size, they feel a little bit like they have an advantage. They can weigh on the guy and they could drag him down. So Kevin Holland, though, he struggles with wrestlers, right? So I think if he goes down to welterweight and he fights a wrestler, that's going to be a problem. If he goes up to middleweight, he fights a wrestler, it's going to be a problem. I do think a middleweight wrestler is probably going to be a little bit tougher for him than a welterweight wrestler.
So that's my thought, specifically to Holland, is when he was fighting at 185, when he would get beat, it was because guys would take him down and they would just kind of hold him there. Derek Brunson did it to him. Remember he was on that long win streak in 2020, then he lost to Brunson by just getting held down on the ground? His takedown defense and his ability to stay upright is better at 170 because he's a striker. Now, he has good jiu-jitsu, and if he needs to score a takedown himself, he can at 170 because he's so long. So for me, personally, I think he's better at 170 because it eliminates his biggest weakness. Now, if he's fighting a guy like Michal, it doesn't matter because he's not going to try to wrestle him. But if he's fighting a wrestler, I think he's better to fight a welterweight wrestler because then he does a better job of taking guys down. And I believe that his length goes a little further at 170 because at 185, the guys are so big that when they get to his legs, he's their size. At 170, he's usually a little taller than the guys that he's fighting against, and you can use that length to defend takedowns. You like that, huh?
No, I like that you said exactly the same thing I said and just said it over and over and over again.
And way better.
Just way longer.
It was the truth.
Sometimes you got to just say things and box it up, keep it simple.
170 because...
Can I just say that I like him at 185 for interviews?
Yes, he's much farther there. Yeah, for interviews.
Right.
I'm not cutting weight.
I was downstairs this morning at like 6:30, and I thought I heard DC coming down the stairs. I'm like, wow, he's actually up. He's going to be on time for the bus. And then it was Holland. He was like just singing. It actually kind of sounded like you for a second.
Was it good? Was it good singing?
He seemed super happy. No, it wasn't that good, but it was loud. I'm like, that's where he gets the name the Big Mouth.
Was he as good as Dricus?
No. I mean, if it was Dricus that was actually singing.
Can Dricus Duplessis really sing?
Bro, you got to see this video.
That's crazy, dog.
I
He's
thought
got
it
the
was
voice
great.
of an angel if it was really him.
That's not true, man. I'm not buying that shit.
But
It's like Jesus and Fergie mixed.
I was on a TV show with Kevin James called Kevin Can Wait.
You want to pick that up?
My whole point of bringing that up is that I sang on the show, karaoke, and I had the voice of an angel too. And I don't have a voice of an angel.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So, like, you know,
but you weren't on a show called The Masked Singer. Anyway, Chris Weidman just wants everyone to know
he's such a hater.
famous.
Oh, I was on this show.
I have really famous friends, and I was in a movie. Okay,
You're so
guys,
annoying.
listen.
You love me.
You just all gave your
Don't touch
opinions,
me
so now I'm going to ask for coaching advice. It is time for all of our UFC 302 You Better panelists. Okay, so this is how it works. You're going to look into the camera, because I don't know, because it's only my second time on the show. You're going to look into the camera and begin with, fighter, you better do what? So we're going to start with Daniel Cormier.
Yep.
Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev, you better get takedowns. You better get into the space where you can grab Dustin Poirier. You want to give him opportunities to try to jump guillotine. If you shoot on him, you can almost trick him into taking a guillotine. That will make the takedowns easier. And if you get takedowns early, Islam Makhachev, it can be a fairly quick night for you because we know how dominant you are in the grappling.
Yeah, Islam Makhachev, you have to basically do what DC just said. Make it a grappling match all around. Press Dustin, clinch him, put him against the cage. And make it a dirty, grueling fight.
All right, Chris Weidman, give me Poirier.
Dustin, DP, you got to go across that octagon, and you have to stop his takedowns early, because if he gets comfortable early with takedowns, you're gonna have a long night. It has to be number one thing you got to focus on is footwork, staying on the outside, getting Makhachev uncomfortable on the feet, stopping the first few takedowns, and just dragging this fight as long as you possibly could drag it.
Dustin Poirier, you better stay in the center of the octagon. You got to be on your bicycle a little bit early. You got to be circling. You got to be creating angles. All those great boxing angles that you and your coaches talk about, you have got to use them. When he changes level, you cannot be where he expects you to be, because if he gets to your legs, it will be too late. You got to defend before the takedowns get started, and then when you get your opportunities, you got to let those hands fly. You have one advantage that most don't, though. You're a southpaw like he is, so you can almost see the takedown a little cleaner. But you got to do it from the center of the octagon.
All right, Jim. Can I call you Jimmy? Does anyone call you Jimmy? Jimmy Miller?
No.
He doesn't like that. Oh, did you see his face?
Jim, give me Sean Strickland.
He didn't even.
James Miller?
He just goes,
James?
hey. He just grunt. He went,
wow.
He went,
Yeah. No problem, Jim. No problem. Who's going to talk a bunch about your accolades?
Jim goes, That's like saying Taylor Ham tastes like shit. Jim be like,
Okay, Sean Strickland, go ahead.
Sean Strickland, you better make this a boxing match. Use your striking. You were able to outstrike Izzy, and you'll be able to outstrike Paulo if you go in there and you fight like Sean Strickland, and you do the crazy stuff that you do inside the octagon. Run him down, talk him down, like get in his head the whole fight. and keep pressing him from bell to bell.
Daniel Cormier?
No, it's me.
It's Chris.
Strickland.
Oh, Chris, just kidding.
Strickland, you gotta get Costa on his back foot. You can't be circling on the octagon and going backwards at all. You have to bring the pressure to him right away. You have to get that explosive muscle to start working early and drag this fight on, through the 5-round process. Don't back up. Bring pressure. Get your jab going. Don't be afraid to throw your 2 behind the jab, and let's get this finish.
Daniel's laughing.
I just saw the board.
Oh, God.
One of the
we
things
got?
says FaceTime Joaquin Buckley.
That's hysterical.
There's another part to that, but I'll keep it to myself for now.
God.
Daniel Cormier, since you're chatting, give me what Paulo Costa
and Jim
needs
Hall
to
of
do.
Fame is on there too. I can't wait for that.
Okay. Paulo Costa, you better force action and be the guy that's got leading, because guess what? At times, Sean Strickland can be a bit cautious. And when he's cautious, sometimes it leads to him not winning fights. We saw it in the Duplessis fight. We saw it in the Jared Cannonier fight, where he allows his opponents to be first. So you have got to be first and overwhelm him with activity, because if he doesn't set the tone of the fight, he can sometimes play second fiddle. You got to make him play second fiddle.
All right, Chris, what about the guy that Dana White lovingly refers to as Big Mouth, Kevin Holland?
Listen, Big Mouth, you better use your wrestling and jiu-jitsu in this fight. Olekshuk, I think that's how you say his name, he's going to press the action. He comes forward. He comes forward with a southpaw stance. He throws hard to the body, and he doesn't give up. Like he kind of reminds me of a Kelvin Gastelum, where he's gonna just keep pressure. He has got great cardio. So let's keep your distance, strike him from the outside, and then work your clinches, trip him down to the ground, and get your submissions going. He's not great with that on the ground at all. So you got to take advantage of that.
You guys are so good at this. Great work. Jim Miller, give me Jailton Almeida.
Jailton Almeida, you better use your grappling, use that jiu-jitsu. You're fighting a Russian grappler. He's got very awkward submissions from the more sambo style, right? So get your takedowns, end up on top, use pure jiu-jitsu on top. Don't do anything reckless. Don't put yourself into some of those positions where he can use a little bit of those quirkier submissions and get the W.
Daniel Cormier, give me, call him Rude Boy.
Yeah. Randy Brown, listen, you've got to get back behind the jab. You told me something in the weigh-in meeting the other day, how you had to learn to use the jab for MMA instead of boxing. Use that jab, fight behind the limp. That's allowed for you to have so much success lately. If you fight behind the jab and you do it consistently, you will find yourself knocking more and more people out. We have seen you here for a really long time. The fact that you made your debut at UFC in 2015, it's crazy for me. But to watch you today, you are starting to evolve into the fighter that we always thought you could be. And that all starts with you fighting behind that beautiful, long, I mean, the dude's like 6'5". At 170 pounds, it's crazy.
I love that this is opening the pay-per-view, Randy Brown between Elizeu and Zaleski dos Santos. I think it's a great matchup. There can be so much action in that one. Can't wait for it. All right, well, I'm being told it's time for rapid fire.
Yes,
We're just keeping it going here.
We're rocking today.
Okay.
It's going to be a short show.
Yeah, apparently. All right, Daniel Cormier,
short.
Islam Makhachev. Why is he the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world today?
Because he can do it all. I mean, he can do it all. You know, it's not just wrestling with Islam. He is as good a striker as anyone in the 155-pound division. Makes him special.
I agree. He could do it all. He's got the wrestling. He's got the jiu-jitsu. He's submitted people. He's knocked people out. I mean, for him to get a knockout over Volkanovski, who was the GOAT, he was the pound-for-pound #1, and he was so good on the feet. For him to get that, and the way he set it up, he started with the body kicks over and over, and then boom, came up to the head. He has leveled up so much that I think, without a doubt, he is the pound-for-pound #1.
I totally agree. Super well-rounded, dangerous everywhere, excellent athlete as well, and just brings all the pieces of the puzzle together.
All right, how much longer will Islam fight at 155, do you think, Daniel, before he chases other goals?
I think Islam will be here for a little bit. You got to think, right now, he has only beaten Alexander Volkanovski, right? So now he's just getting in to the contender. So I think 2 to 3 more fights trying to defend that championship before trying to go to 170 and become double champion.
I think it's going to happen here pretty quick.
Really?
I think he's looking for that legacy. I think he wants that second belt. He's talked about it. Leon Edwards, I think, is on paper a good matchup for him.
They sparred.
He's trained with Bilal Muhammad. That could be a possible matchup, and I think they're open for that too. I think that the fights at 170 are going to be fun. Unfortunately, for the 155-pound division, it's going to get put on hold if that happens. But this is kind of where our sport is now. You win a weight class once or twice, and then you're looking for super fights.
Yeah, I think that he's going to get talked into and pushed into by maybe some people around him or the fans in going up and making those super fights, unfortunately. Yeah. I would like to see him clean out the division.
Yeah.
Get a few more fights in.
It's not the same anymore,
guys,
DC.
can we just sit here for 1 second? Now, the going up in weight class is fine. But there's only been one defense, and there are guys at 170. Usually you get guys going up when there aren't people for them, right? When Blachowicz was the champion, Izzy got to go up, there just really weren't that many 205-pounders. So you give the guy below a chance. There are good 170s right now to fight Leon Edwards.
And there's so much interesting at 155 still.
Yeah.
To
well, he's only fought Volk.
Yeah.
Right. Won the belt from Charles. Okay, what does he need to prove on Saturday then? And Daniel, take that as you want.
Makhachev?
Yeah.
I don't think he has to prove anything. I mean, you beat Charles Oliveira, who was really running roughshod over the division. And then you go and beat the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world twice. And the second time you beat him better, you did the first time. I don't think he has anything to prove this weekend. He just needs to go out there and try to beat Islam as we've come to expect.
He's got to prove that he could defend against a 55-pounder. So, like you said, he's fought a 45-pounder as a defense. Now it's a 55-pounder. That's always going to be getting held over his head. As long as he gets a win over Poirier, if he gets a finish, I say he's going up. If it's a decision, he's staying at 155.
Wait, you think he's going to go up after one more defense?
Yeah, so that'll be his second title
third,
defense.
That'll be his
third title defense. I think that's pretty much where we're at this point.
These guys? What about Arman Sarukian, the guy that's...
I mean,
what's a bigger fight, Arman Sarukian or Leon Edwards versus Makhachev? Wow. That's the problem.
But
it's quick money.
How long is that the deciding factor? Bigger fight when you know what I mean?
And also it's timing. Leon Edwards fights in July. Leon Edwards fights in July. Islam Makhachev said he wants to fight again in New York City in November. There's no way Leon's turning around and fighting him again if he gets through Bilal Muhammad or Bilal Muhammad the other side.
Sure.
I honestly don't think that Islam really needs to prove too much. Tomorrow night he's pound for pound =1.
Yeah.
I mean he's here. He has one loss in this division. Dustin is a very dangerous lightweight.
Yeah.
Guy's got a lot of experience. Excellent boxer. I mean, if he hits the guillotine in practice, it might work in a fight. So he's a good grappler. He's not known for it. But yeah,
he's
honestly,
got a black
I think.
belt. Let's not forget.
But do we think it comes down to the guilotine? He's never hit in a fight. He's never.
No, but I just think that he's
everyone's talking about the guillotine.
He's leaning into it.
You know what's the thing about rapid fire? And I know we're supposed to go fast. There's such great topics.
I know.
And you want to talk about the topics are so good in rapid fire.
Well, let me give you a new topic. Is this Dustin Poirier's last fight, win or lose?
No, this is not his last fight. He'll fight again.
If he wins the fight, there's no chance he retires. Even if he puts down his gloves, it's not happening because the way it works, man, you become a UFC champion. Now you get a percentage of the pay-per-view. I don't care how much money he has. You're not going to turn that down. He's a fighter too. Well, yeah, he's got percentage of pay-per-view, but
that's just you guys telling us you're rich. We got it. We get a percentage of the pay. We were champions. We got it. You're rich. Okay.
But everyone knew that. When you got into the sport, to make the real money, the money that's going to last for a long time, you have to become a champion, and that's what's so enticing about becoming a champion. It's not just the gold strap and to say you're the world champ. It's because a lot comes with it.
I don't know if it's his last one or not. I hope not. Right? I'm a fan of his. I don't mind it when fighters talk about it, honestly. I know that it bugs you when fighters talk about retirement, but he's a father and a provider for his family as well. So you have to know that something could happen in an instant that could end your career. So as a provider, you have to be able to go on to the next.
There's two levels to that, and I'm gonna talk afterwards. I'm gonna talk about Jailton Almeida.
There you go.
Jailton Almeida was on a massive streak, ran into Curtis Blades, and honestly, fought with no patience in that fight. I don't know why he was so panicky to get the fight to the ground, especially against a guy like Curtis Blades, who has such a strong wrestling background. It cost him a chance at a UFC championship because Curtis is now fighting for the interim title. He recognizes that. He said that he will be much more patient this weekend. Feels like this. 241 for Jailton. He feels like right now in this matchup will give him an opportunity to put himself right back into the conversation, not the title picture. He's not crazy to think, oh, one win, I'm back with an opportunity. He goes, I'll be back on the short list. And that's important for a guy to recognize.
I don't think it was really the patience. I thought it was like a technical error. Well, he dominated the first round. He took him down.
Bro, but he
right?
took him down 4 times.
Okay.
You're a heavyweight. It's hard to do that.
Second, but Curtis Blades was tired too. What happened is in the second round, he got him on the cage, and he was just hanging on with his head exposed to the elbows and the hammer fist. And he relaxed there, thinking, "Oh, this is not going to hurt me." But at heavyweight, you can't take at any weight. You have to respect
essentially what he told
that
us.
stuff.
Yeah.
He shot so many times. I mean, when was the last time you saw a heavyweight shoot
But
8
listen,
shots
but
in
one
the first round?
takedown could be the whole round. So,
but it wasn't though.
Yeah, okay.
That's the problem.
But if he would have got that, as the fight goes on, the heavyweight's going to get more tired. His weight is weighing on him. How many times is Curtis Blades getting back up to his feet?
And Curtis is big. That's the problem.
And he hits hard, man.
Yeah.
Curtis Blades, we know he's a wrestler, but when he throws, man, that dude, he could hit.
He
All
did
right.
too.
Well, Jailton Almeida ranked number 7. For those of you keeping track at home, 3 left to weigh in. Jocelyn Edwards, Grant Dawson, and Paulo Costa. All right, Daniel Cormier, let's get back to rapid fire. If this fight hits the championship rounds, who's it better for, Dustin or Islam?
Boy, that's a tough one because Dustin's been there before, and we have seen him really elevate at the end of fights. He pulled away from Max Holloway late in the fight. But I think it would probably benefit the guy that can wrestle better. So I'm going to say Makhachev because, like Chris said, one takedown, especially late when you're tired, could win you a round.
Poirier is always dangerous, no matter how tired he is. But we've seen him fade in fights. We have that ingrained in our memory. With Khabib, and you can kind of see how those takedowns add up, and you kind of see.
Islam got tired against Volk in that first fight.
He did, but how much of that was like the shock of this being a close fight? Everyone thought he was going to run right through him. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, now he's in this tough.
Isn't that the worst? Whenever
fight,
you think you're going to beat somebody easy.
I know. I've always
gets
way
hard.
smaller dude, and Australia doesn't have wrestling. He had all those things in his head where he'd just be able to easily dominate with the wrestling. And next thing you know, you're in a tough fight, and the anxiety hits in. And I thought he did a great job with all that being said, to deal with that adversity where you don't expect it in Perth.
He also talked about the travel, the rehydration process, the lack of sleep because of the time change, and he's been in New Jersey now for 3 weeks.
He's taking this very
he
serious.
learned from that experience, it seems like.
Yes.
I'm leaning towards Dustin in the later rounds. Not that we haven't really seen Islam gas, right? But I just feel like Dustin is super consistent, and I feel like where he's strong with his boxing, he's going to be dangerous for 25 minutes with that.
That's true.
So, and that stuff just adds up.
And crazy,
if they're stuck on their feet in the 4th and 5th round, and Islam is not shooting as much, you got to go to you got to say it's an advantage.
And you know what's
for
crazy is we haven't had to see Islam late much.
Yeah.
The only time we've seen him late in a while is when Volk took him to the 5th round. Because you got to think, even he had those main events with the Brazilian kid, with the kid from I can't remember the Brazilian kid's name, the jiu-jitsu guy. No, before Oliveira, it was the guy he fought before Charles. It was a jiu-jitsu guy. He submitted him. No, he submitted him very early. Then he fought Drew Dober.
There's a lot of Silvas.
Thiago Moises. I think that's going to be a 5-round fight. He fought against Drew Dober, got him out of there quick. Yeah. He fought he's been beating it. Charles Oliveira got him out of there quick. Got Volkanovski out of there quick the second time. So, in the last 5 or 6 fights, he's been finishing guys. He finished Bobby Green before that. So it's like.
But you could tell he's not trying to get these guys out of there early. It's happening because he's doing these. He's got these setups. If you look at that first round of Volkanovski, he's setting him up for the later rounds. It's not like he has to take him down and has to submit him. So I think it shows his experience where he's not just going out there, I got to get a finish.
Okay, because to that point, I was going to say, if we're talking about championship rounds and the way, Islam himself has predicted this goes, is it already benefiting Poirier to get to 4 and 5?
Yeah, well, it seems like the overwhelming idea is that this fight ends very early. Even Dustin said it yesterday at the press conference. He goes, "This is not going past 2.5 rounds."
Yeah.
Can we just
Do you
look
see
at
that
your
light
one-shot?
on my face?
Are you
what is going on?
being touched by an angel right now?
I'm in the glow.
You gotta sing now. You gotta sing.
I am so good on television.
All
Look
right,
at me glowing.
They're telling me to move on. How do the fights against Khabib and Conor help Dustin prepare for this moment?
I think the fight with Khabib helps him because there's a strength in grappling that you don't feel until you feel it. And I wish I had time, but there's a story that I was grappling Islam once. Usually as a big guy, you throw guys off of you. The little guy, right? You can always get the small guys off of you. You just got to throw them off of you. And then I did that with Makhachev. I thought, like, okay, now it's time for me to get up. I'm going to throw him off of me. But then I kind of bumped him, and he was still there. And then I bumped him again, and he was still there. And then all of a sudden, I'm grappling at 100% because this guy has this strength. You think you can replicate it in practice, but until you get one of those guys on top of you, you've never felt it. Dustin feeling Khabib now will give him an understanding because he said it. He told Dana, he goes, I've never had a guy grab me and hold me in the way that he did. He goes, I've never felt like I couldn't move.
Yeah.
Now he's felt it. I think it'll help him.
Yeah, he says he was outmatched. The question was, what was the question?
Like,
how do the fights against Khabib and Conor benefit him for this moment because of the pressure that came with Conor McGregor?
Absolutely.
You know, in the moment in a huge arena
and the championship fights.
It doesn't get bigger than fighting Conor McGregor.
Right.
And he said this. The aura of guys, they don't get to him anymore, and I believe it. You know, he's had some big fights now under the big lights. He's a huge star himself.
Yeah, he is.
So the aura of guys usually will take over, and especially the guy that he was dominated the most by was Khabib. And now you got a guy who is really, you know, the comparisons are just through the roof between Khabib and Makhachev. That it's definitely going to be in his head, but at least he kind of knows what he's getting himself into. So for for the last few years, he's been preparing for another Khabib, and here it is. It's his chance.
I think the Conor fights, honestly. I think that fighting Conor McGregor, being in those giant fights, avenging a loss. I think it adds more to him. Honestly, there's the thing in my mind that says maybe. Islam having the, Khabib to train with and to train him, prepare him for Dustin might be a negative because that was a long time ago.
Yep.
You know, and like what Khabib did that night worked, but Dustin is a different fighter, and it's like, are you preparing for somebody that
3 years ago, or the guy today,
or 4 or however long years ago it was?
How about Khabib being in the corner? Like, because usually
and he got Gamrot now to train him. He's been training with Gamrot, who is
that's another
phenomenal wrestler.
with a great wrestler.
Yeah.
But Khabib being in the corner, do you guys think that has any effect? Because usually I don't think it matters who's in the corner, but Khabib definitely brings this presence as a guy who Dustin Poirier will say he was just outmatched against. There's no excuses.
Yeah.
It's not like the nerves or anything got to him. He was outmatched. Having him in his corner, is that something that you guys think is like?
I think if you get in between rounds, it matters. But when you're in there, man, you guys know we're operating on what we do. You can't hear your coaches unless you get right in front of them in the corner.
It's more about like as they're getting ready to start fighting. You see Khabib.
No, I get it, but like not for Dustin. Dustin won't care about that.
Yeah, okay.
No, a weaker man will see a guy that beat him as the coach and go, "Oh man."
Yeah. I honestly, Dustin Poirier wouldn't be Dustin Poirier if he gave a shit.
Yes,
who was in
that's what
somebody
I was.
else's corner.
Dustin don't give a shit about that. Yeah.
I like that. Chris wrote his own rapid fire question. We have one. Let's go to the co-main event. We're making a pivot here. Co-main event. 5 rounds, this one, Daniel, for Strickland versus Costa.
Sean Strickland.
Why would Paolo be okay with this?
Sean Strickland, it's such a massive advantage for Strickland. I just think that Paulo Costa knew he had an opportunity to do something big, especially after the fight with Robert Whittaker. But if you watch the fight with Robert Whittaker, while it was fun and it was close, you know that Paulo slowed down towards the 3rd round. Sean Strickland won't slow down. This is a massive, I think he just understands the chance he has, and he wants to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I would love to know how that happened, how it became a 5-round fight. I'm going to say Strickland wanted it to be a 5-round fight. UFC was on it, and to have the opportunity for Costa to fight the number one guy, you get a win over Strickland. You're probably fighting for the belt. It was an opportunity that he had to take. He has to eventually, if he's going to be fighting for the belt, get ready for 5-round fights. So at some point, you have to bite the bullet and be like, all right, am I a championship fighter or am I not?
Yeah, I think it was a maybe a poor calculation on Paulo's on his side.
Okay.
Because Sean he is not going to stop. He's going to continue on in that 4th and 5th round. Paulo is super tough, well-rounded, right? But I think that those championship rounds, right, even though it's not a championship fight, they are going to be Sean Strickland's.
If it gets there.
If it gets there, right? But like you said, everybody wants to fight in those five-round fights because that means you're main eventing or you're fighting for a title.
Yeah.
He went out 5 with Marvin Vettori.
He is? Yeah, but the pace is so different.
He's fighting, he's one camp on the heels of another. So, he's had these long layoffs traditionally in the past few years. So anyway, all right, let's move on to buy or sell Daniel Cormier. I didn't write this question. Mitch Raposo will bite Andre Lima. The hard-hitting questions here, apparently, on the weigh-in show.
Dude, sell. That just happens very rare. I think it happened one time. I'm selling it. He's not going to bite him.
Wait, who's biting who?
Mitch Raposo will bite Andre Lima, the bitey of his last fight, yes.
I'm going to have to go the under. I'm selling it. He's not getting bit.
I'm buying. Let's buy. We don't often see somebody get bit in the octagon. We would never see somebody get bit twice.
Yeah.
Right?
Would you get a tattoo if you guys got bit by someone?
Me?
Yeah.
I've been bit in the octagon before.
Would you get a tattoo of it? Is what
I
I'm
haven't
saying?
been bit so hard that it broke the skin, and I've bit a few guys.
Who bit you? You bit a few guys? Daniel Cormier.
What do you mean? We're trying to win.
Who bit you?
A few people bit me.
Name the name.
I was covering their face with my hand, and one guy bit my hand. You didn't see one time I was fighting. I was covering somebody's mouth. I'm not gonna put no name. I'm not gonna put a name because I don't want to put the guys on the blood. But I was covering the mouth, and he bit me, and he bit me, and he bit me. I was like, ah. I was in the octagon. I went, ow, he bit me. And then I just started punching him again.
Yeah. So who was it?
I've been bit by 3 people.
3 people?
Three people.
Maybe that's a you problem.
And I've bit 2. But I always kind of play it as if I'm because I try to cover their mouth, I'm putting my hand in their mouth so they bite.
Okay. Yeah, that feels very, very weird. Okay, so we're gonna have a special version of trivia.
That Hendo bit me, but he took his veneers out.
Get the whiteboards ready. I want to eat the rest of this sandwich
I'm eating some of it
badly.
right now. Let's go.
My God. All right, Jim. You're the
water, please,
he's the judge?
I'm the judge. All right, I got all the power.
All right, let's do this.
Light, whatever's available.
Okay. Well, okay. All right, so this is Jim Miller trivia.
Oh, okay.
Did you know this?
No, I didn't know any of this. I don't even know if I know
So
if
apparently,
there's actual stuff.
you
that
guys
there's a
are going to
legitimate
write your answers. You hopefully know the answer.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
have the answer. So you'll tell us the answer after they.
I really hope you don't know the
I will
answer.
be
I wanna know some of my
here in
answers.
case you need me, or if you just want to change.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Ready? What year did Jim make his UFC debut?
That one's easy. Come on, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Minus the 3.
Oh,
Multiply.
you're not allowed to see mine.
Wait. So
No, don't give any hints. This is big.
it's not
It's a year.
working. It's not working.
Okay, then you're gonna have to say it.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to say it until we
Take
get
it.
any
Hurry
more.
up. No, he can't say it. He has to write it down because he'll cheat.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're. I was gonna let him go first. Okay, ready?
You are such
Flip
a
him.
dick. He copied me.
2008.
Oh, man! I thought it was one last. Wait, what did
David
you put?
Barron.
There you go.
You know what I mean.
89.
What?
UFC 89.
Damn it.
Wait,
Yeah.
what did you put?
Yeah.
She
I'm
doesn't
not
play.
playing.
All the way back in
Oh,
I'm the
time.
host, sir.
David
so
Barron.
much. All right, how many total fights does Jim have in the UFC?
Crap.
Closest wins. No prices. What's
No
that
price
show?
is right rule.
Price
That
is
means
right
that you can't.
rule.
Yeah.
You go over, you're out.
I don't
You're over,
know
you're
what
out.
this is. Okay.
Well, I mean.
Closest wins. How many fights does he have in the UFC?
I know I'm pretty close.
Okay.
I know I'm pretty close.
44.
There we
Let's
go,
go!
Daniel Cormier.
Let's go!
Just a reminder, that is the most in UFC history.
Damn it.
Yeah, well,
I knew that.
Okay, over or under 13 submission wins in Jim's UFC career?
Over or
or
under?
under 13 submission wins?
over.
Over.
It is under.
It's under 13
Yeah.
in my career.
Well, I'm being told you have
In my-
12.
Oh, UFC.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
12. Oh my God, he had 12.
How do you guys do that to Jim? How do you do it under?
Set me up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no,
Jim Miller even got a
Okay, ready? I like this question. Can you name Jim's opponents at UFC 100, 200, and 300?
Oh my God.
We just had 300, so please at least write that one down. Okay, there's a point for each, I'm being told.
Don't tell
keep a
this
track.
guy.
I'm not telling anybody.
I honestly suck.
Yeah, come on, 300.
No, but I
Just
got
happened.
300.
I'm still
I got
convinced.
it.
I got a problem.
100?
I know 200. I know 200, but I can't remember. I don't know 200.
Okay, there's a point for each one, so
I don't know 200.
Producers,
can we
tell
get,
me.
hey, can we get a hint for one on the 200?
grappling legend.
All right, go.
Flip him.
Yeah. Bobby Green. Yeah. I can't read that.
Cowboy, James
No,
Krause, and Bobby.
UFC 100, Mac Danzig.
That was a
Mac
UFC,
Danzig.
choice to
UFC
put
200,
that in.
Takanori Gomi.
Gomi.
UFC 300.
I thought that was a good clue.
So,
So we both died.
I think we have a replay of some cheating. Chris Weidman? Is this
oh my
true?
God.
What?
Oh my God.
First of all,
He doesn't get that.
Oh my
He
God.
doesn't get
there's
that.
no proof.
In slow-mo,
He
too.
had nothing. He had nothing.
He
on
doesn't
his
get
board.
Bobby.
He had
He
nothing. on
doesn't
his
get
board.
Bobby. I get 2. I got
Come
2.
on.
Yeah, get my
All right.
2, man.
Next question. What is Jim's longest win streak in the UFC?
Closest wins,
Longest
win
but the closest to the number
Oh,
wins.
I got that.
I guess, yeah.
How don't you know this?
Oh,
7.
Do you both get a point? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, 1-1.
I'm the host today. You're both getting a point.
All right.
All right.
Okay, over or under 10 performance bonuses in Jim's UFC career.
I know that one.
Me too.
This boy done made some money,
That
man.
is correct.
This boy done made some money in
Do
the
you know how many?
UFC and bonuses.
50.
Oh, yeah, he knows for sure. That is tied for the 4th most in UFC history.
How much?
Jim,
How many?
15.
$50,000 bonuses. This boy Jim Miller made some
It was
cash.
probably
Jim
more than
also
50.
Jim
Some
Miller
of them were
also-
less, too. So, you know.
Jim, can we hold something?
Yeah, I know, exactly. Okay, only 3 fighters in UFC history have spent more time in the octagon than Jim Miller. Can you name one? Bonus points if you can name 2. So, who in UFC history has spent more time in the octagon than Jim Miller? There are 3 names.
Okay, I know that one.
Yeah, each answer is a point. But
Okay,
there's
I
only
know
3.
that. I know that. More time in the octagon than Jim Miller. It's got to be. Oh, it's got to be decisionaires. I got 2. That's all I
Wow.
got.
Me too.
Okay, are we ready? Okay.
Yeah,
oh,
RDA,
you both
Frankie.
got one.
Yeah.
And do you know the last one? I can't remember. It's Max Holloway is the last one.
Ah, dang it.
Was Cowboy 1?
No, it's RDA, Frankie,
Frankie.
and Max.
Frankie.
RDA.
Yeah.
dang.
Okay, who has more submission wins, Jim or Damian Maia?
That's one of those tricky ones.
I mean, it shouldn't be because you got it right.
Yes, let's go.
Do you know how many you have versus him?
He has 11.
That's
you're
one of those
pretty good
tricky
with this
Hey,
stuff.
that's one of those tricky ones where
you
you
have 12.
think
Bro,
because
what
of
is
who
wrong with
Damian
you?
Maia is.
Right.
Oh,
But I
I'm
don't
sorry,
think
my
our
bad.
producers would be like, oh, Damian Maia has more than you. Let's make it a trivia question. Okay, over or under 30 seconds for Jim's fastest finish in the UFC. So over or under 30 seconds for Jim's fastest finish in the octagon. Okay.
Yo, you cheating with Jim
I'd
Miller?
already done it. I'd already done it.
Go to the instant
I
replay.
already done it. I already
Go
wrote
to
it.
instant
Just flip
replay.
yours over.
Already done it.
Flip it over. There we go.
I got it right.
Now, do you
26 seconds.
Yep.
Right?
Jeez,
Or
who
23
was that?
seconds.
What'd you do?
23?
3 seconds.
And who was
Knockout?
that against?
That was, what's his face?
I was there.
Jesse Butler.
Yeah, Butler. Yeah.
Hey, I
Okay.
was there.
Last June.
Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. We need, how many brothers does Jim Miller have?
That fought in the UFC or just in
I
general?
just said brothers. You better have no brothers.
Jim has 2 brothers.
You guys remember that video?
Jim has 2
I do.
brothers.
I have 2 brothers. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. DC, you are the winner.
He should have had
Take
a
your belt, my friend.
The middle
Take
kids are the ones that
your
fight,
belt.
right?
Give
You know,
me
it's like-
my, give me
So it's your
my
older brother that doesn't fight?
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the North Carolina
Okay,
boy.
so you've got the belt now,
Yes, I
but
do.
Jim, I'm going to you about this next
What'd you
topic.
say?
No, wait.
Florida
Somebody
boy.
has to spin the wheel.
Why?
Because when you win, you get to tell someone to spin the wheel.
Who's spinning the wheel?
You, because you're being disrespectful. You're trying to move on without spinning the wheel. So you're spinning it since you're being disrespectful.
Oh, you gotta go harder than that. Go, give him a real
Buckley.
spin.
It looks like we have to FaceTime.
No,
Mark.
no. You gotta spin it. All right, let's
Land
see.
on it again.
Mirror
Oh, this
affirmation.
is pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
He
You
loves
guys,
these.
This is
Yeah, I
a
love
weird
it.
show.
Megan, you have to do it.
So you
Mirror
gotta
affirmations.
pretend you're talking in the mirror.
You gotta tell, what do you tell yourself?
Like this
in the
morning when you were looking at
I
yourself in the mirror.
honestly talk shit to myself. So
All
this
right,
is
you gotta do it.
We're about to
Okay.
get a mirror affirmation from Megan O'Leary, guys. Normally we're all
And
like,
make sure you,
oh, I love
make
you.
sure you
You're
say
so
your
nice.
name. Make sure you say Megan. And then
Megan.
talk
this
to
is the
Megan.
weirdest job.
You gotta say Megan.
Coach yourself.
Okay.
You're here with 3 great guys hosting the best show ever.
No, we don't have it. Okay, we lost a mirror, so I'm gonna spin it again.
RJ. No.
No,
What?
it's not.
Oh, you
Okay,
don't need
Jim
a
Tail,
real
Jim
mirror.
Tail.
A Jim
Jim Tail,
Tail?
you gotta tell a Jim Tail.
Okay.
I found it.
Let's see.
I found it.
Well,
He found the mirror. Let's
Jim-
go.
There we go.
This is so weird, you
All
guys.
right, mirror
Okay.
affirmations.
She did not want to do this.
Megan.
This is not my cup of
This is what you do. Hey, yo, watch when she starts. She's gonna be just
She's
a
gonna
natural.
kill it.
She's gonna be a
I don't know
natural.
what
Watch how
I'm
good she's
supposed
gonna
to
be at
do.
this.
She's gonna be such a
Like this?
natural.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just talk good about
Oh
yourself.
my God, I'm not good at this. I'm not one
Yes,
of those
you are.
people on TV that
Let's go.
loves themselves. I'm pretty much the opposite. I'll take this affirmation from an Instagram trending audio. I'm just gonna say, Megan, how hard can it be to host this show today? Boys do it.
Wow. She just dropped the hammer on
Wow,
us.
Megan. Okay.
That's true. Does that give you
Okay.
confidence? Like these idiots are up here like,
Yeah, that has to be like,
They said, how hard can it be? Boys do it.
Megan,
So that's
Megan,
what
it must literally be like when you watch us on TV, you're like, yo, I went to school for this. This is the easiest job in the world. Like, these morons can go up there, sit up there for 3 hours and make this work.
Okay, so yeah.
Or they-
how
or
hard
she just-
can
I
it
actually
be?
went to
Boys
school for
do
it.
it. Jim Miller, let's change the topic very quickly. We were talking about your career. You have so much longevity in the sport. 100, 200, 300.
No, please.
What's the secret?
Oh, okay.
he thinks the Hall of Fame thing's coming out.
Like, what are
he's
the
petrified.
keys to having such a long stay, not just in the organization, but also being fun to watch, being great in the division in terms of the level of competition you're facing?
I think the way that I fight is like I grab that mirror and I look at myself in the mirror and I say, Jim, don't cry, Jim. But you know, like I just want to fight to my I want to fight and win in a way that makes me happy, that gets me like excited. If I was a fan, right? And that means go out and like put it on the line. Like listen, winning is the name of the game, but I've never tried to like eke out a decision, because if I win a decision and my hand gets raised, you've never seen me smile, jumping around, happy about that, right? But like, so I go out and I try to leave it all in there. The longevity thing, like, there's a little bit of luck, there's a little bit of genetics, you know. Like I've been lucky enough that I haven't had to have any surgeries yet. I haven't had, like I literally just started breaking bones. like last June, I broke my first bone.
I feel like he's coming at me right now.
No, I'm saying it's just it. I've been very lucky in that I haven't sustained some of those injuries in the room, particularly, that lead to the end of people's careers.
Sure.
I think when it comes. Sorry.
And there's design to that too, right? Like about 10 years ago, I downsized everything. I went from a bigger gym here in Jersey to a small gym where it's like I don't have to wear a target on my back every day. I don't have to bring in, like managers aren't bringing in brand new guys that maybe there's a language barrier or this or that, or there's some killer somewhere else, and they're like, oh well, I'm gonna show everybody in here that I need to be in the UFC, and so I don't have to deal with that. So it's like the likelihood of me getting hurt in training is less. I've got a great group that I trust that can push me very hard, but like, yeah, I don't have to deal with some of the big gym.
Do you spar hard? You spar hard anymore?
I do, yeah, but it's one day a week.
Yeah.
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 I think longevity, right? I was 41 when I was done. I think it comes down to recognizing who you are, making sure you manage all the things you can, and try to just live life. And you can't be like out partying. You can't be like doing all kinds of crazy stuff because it takes away from the career, right? So if the career stays the focus, you can go a little longer than you anticipated. I can't speak to longevity in the same way as you guys because I started at 31, right? So I went to 41, but I only went 10 years. But it was always trying to manage the things that I could and trying to do the right thing, but it's also luck, man, because there's got to be motivating factors that make you want to continue to do it. For me, I kept going, I'm still got a belt, I'm fighting, I'm not going to stop, right? You spoke about it earlier. All the things that comes with being the champion. For you, it's like you can still find motivation, things that make you want to go back out there and compete, because at times you lose that, and when you lose that, you can't fight anymore. But I do believe it's luck, too. I mean, I think so much plays into luck because I have seen tremendous fighters, some of the best that ever have done it. Cain Velasquez, for example, would have been the greatest heavyweight of all time, hands down, no question. But he missed 5 years due to injuries. And a lot of them were brought on himself because he wanted to do so much. But luck, man, you gotta be lucky to be able to do what you do. Like Dustin Poirier, he's 35 years old. He's been fighting in the UFC since he was, 22, 21 years old? And he still is one of the best in the world. But a lot of that, is in part to some luck and being with the right team.
I think what you said, motivation, I think is the biggest thing. And to have motivation, you have to still believe you have a lot to learn. I think not thinking you have it figured out, not thinking, okay, I'm a great striker or you're a great wrestler or a great jiu-jitsu guy. There's always so much to learn. I know for me, I feel like I know nothing still, and I've been doing this since 2009. I've been wrestling since I'm a little kid, and I think that is what keeps me motivated every single day is I see room for improvement in every aspect of the game, and that's what keeps me coming to the gym. And as far as injuries and luck and stuff, I haven't had the best luck when it comes to injuries, but I just think there's ways to grow every single time you have adversity.
Yeah, but even you,
and there's blessings in disguise every time you have to go through tough times, and you use that as like a motivating factor. Like, I'm going through all this, and look what I could still do.
But let me ask you this: do you think, because how many years have you been off due to injury?
A lot, man. I've had 30 surgeries.
What?
And since fighting, it's probably been 18.
No, I know, but what about years off?
You had 12 surgeries before you started fighting?
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Okay. Yeah.
But think about this. Do you think, how old are you now, Chris? 37, 38?
39.
39. Do you think, because you've lost 5 or 6 years, you think if you didn't lose those 6 years that you'd still be able to go at 39? You'd probably be done by now. So even in retrospect, thinking back all the time away, you would have never allowed yourself that time
100%.
to recover. You'd probably be retired.
I would have been complacent. All right, I've been injury-free. I've accomplished a lot. Okay, I'm done. But the injuries is what I think motivates me too, because I have this lost time and I'm trying to make up for it.
So you stay longer.
You stay longer, yeah.
Well, guys, it's interesting to note because there is a trend when it comes to age in these matchups. We're talking about longevity. At 155 pounds and below, 35-year-old fighters are 0-16.
Jeez.
So Islam's over. I think Islam's 30, right, or 31?
32 years old.
He's not young. He's not like a young guy.
I'm just saying the trend is 35 and older is 0-16 at 155 and down because, yes, it is a challenge to do.
There was a graphic came out.
Poirier has the opportunity to buck the trend here, right?
Well, there was a graphic the other day that said guys at 185 and up had wins, but anything down 170 below, they were like 0-26 or some stuff like that.
2-28 in title fights.
For flyweights and welterweights, that's crazy.
Yeah. But you also see heavyweights fighting into their 40s, but you're not really seeing a flyweight or a bantamweight even really close to 40.
I think it's a reaction time, right?
Sure.
That quickness.
Right.
Because that's the one thing you can't keep.
It's a young man's game for those lighter weights. But it's only a young man's game
at lightweight. Because if John Jones, I don't know how old he is now, 37, 38 years old, if he stayed as the heavyweight champion, I don't know that those guys beat him right now. Say he defends that belt 3 times, then all of a sudden, yes, he's a heavyweight. But all of a sudden, that number, right, when it's like heavyweights at 35 and older or 10-8, then all of a sudden they're 15-8 because Jones has won so many fights as the heavyweight champ. It takes one great guy as a heavyweight older to do it. Lightweights don't do that. There's no way I don't think a 39-year-old guy at 170 and below can become the world champ.
And what do you think that is? Is it just because power is the last thing to go? The heavier guys got more power.
Yeah.
You still have that knockout ability.
You don't keep your reaction time, right? Like that's the one thing that's going to always go away from you. You can get stronger, you can get better, you can make improvements everywhere else, but that quickness, that reaction, and reflexes. And like in the smaller weight classes, that is such a bigger part.
Can you see it, Jim?
Yeah.
Do you see it now? Like,
I do. I fight a lot slower than I used to.
Yeah, like are you like, man, these dudes are fast.
Dude, and then like I'll try to spar with 25-pounders. So then it's like, okay, I'll try to be a 25-pounder. And then I'm like moving around, and you're like jerking and jerking, and it's like this is exhausting. Like I can't keep this up, and it's like, and I'm a small lightweight, like so. I honestly think it's just that speed is such a big part of the lower weight classes. That it really just
reaction time. You can't argue with it. It's like a scientific fact. Gamers, it's all about reaction time, right? I think they peak at 25 years old.
Video games.
If you are over 25,
peak for that?
you're not going to have the reaction time as the 18-year-old kid.
Bro, it's crazy.
I think priorities in life just change a little bit.
I think Daniel would like to challenge that today.
Little Daniel playing video games, the sounds that controller makes, I've never heard anything like it in my life, bro. That controller goes, I'm like, what is he doing up there, man? That sounds crazy.
All right, listen, we can have this conversation for hours, but let's go back to the weigh-in stage. Grant Dawson about to make his way to the scale.
I like this kid. This kid was on such a high, and then he loses to Bobby Green.
155, the official weight.
155 for Grant Dawson. His ability to shift focus now and just get right back to the mindset that he will be the world champion is very impressive, man. A lot of times a young guy can't do that.
Oh, they lied. There was another person left.
Yeah, here we go. Andre Lima, man, 8-0. He's an up-and-comer. If you don't know him, you might have remembered he got bit. Right?
Yes.
And did he get the tattoo?
He did.
So I think that's what he's. Oh, this might be close.
He looks scared.
He looks a little disappointed.
Come on, flyweight. You got to make weight here.
Oh
no.
This don't look good.
130.
130.
4 pounds overweight, man. That is
4
not
pounds
good.
over
When you're an
the flyweight
8-0
limit.
up-and-comer like this with a bright future, to come in over 4 pounds, it's not a good look, man. That's like a new weight class.
No,
You're going to have to probably go up a weight class.
No, flyweight, you got to make weight. It's a division I love so much.
Yeah,
But when they miss weight, it's not helping 125. But Mitch Raposo, absolute badass. He knew that his opponent has now missed weight. The limit, of course, is 126 for flyweight. He missed by 4 pounds there. Mitch said, I want to fight. This is his UFC debut. He has accepted the fight. What I am told is that the fight will still be on.
Well, Mitch also said the last 3 years after losing on the contender series is the worst 3 years of his life. Trying to work his way back to this moment, so he's going to take that opportunity. You don't wait when you get that when you don't get a chance. And Mitch Raposo, and he feels good in the matchup, right? It is the matchup also. Like if you feel good in the matchup, I'm like, yo, is this 4 pounds going to make me not be able to take this guy down?
Well, he didn't, but the lack of suffering there
He didn't
for
suffer.
his opponent.
Let me tell you something. He didn't
Lima,
suffer. That's the hardest part.
Not in the camp and not to I don't know.
4
Lima
pounds.
didn't
We've gone
suffer.
over this though. Like the percentages of winning when you don't make weight are very high.
No, it's not.
It's like
we went over this.
It's like 15 out
We'll
of
see
16.
if our producers can
I think
pull
the
those
stat
stats
is
for
15
us.
out of
Dude,
16
Chris,
fighters.
we
When you don't
debunked
make
this last
weight,
time.
you win the fight. So
we debunked
it almost
this last
makes
time.
sense to
Chris is saying
not make
100%
weight.
of the guys that don't make weight win the fight.
No,
Just about.
97%.
It's a
Thank you,
lot.
Jim.
No, Jim, it's
Yeah.
not a problem. You think that.
Okay.
It started that way.
It's not 100%.
When Darren Till
It
won
started-
the boy, the stat came out.
It
It might be a
started
little
that-
old now. It might have
It
changed.
started
a little bit,
that way initially. It started that way initially, where it was high, but then it went down, and it went down drastically. They're losing more now when they miss weight than winning. I promise you that.
I think one of the
More than
things is
winning?
that
They're losing more than winning now. And here goes Chris with his Google.
I think
Okay.
that one of the things is that the fighters are turning it down when their opponent comes in like more than 3 pounds. Usually, guys are turning it down.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Wonder Boy was that with
Wait.
who didn't make weight? Pereira.
Pereira.
It's because he fought Darren Till. Darren Till, he
Yes,
was in
I was there.
Liverpool.
I was there.
He was like 3.5 pounds overweight.
It was crazy. He had to do a
ends up
morning
losing a very
weigh-in.
close thing. And they were like, man, it's kind of suspicious that you didn't. Did you not even try to make weight? And then he felt like that weight was a difference. And then he said, if this ever happens again, he's not taking the fight. And then he didn't take it against Michelle Pereira, and he
Right.
got tons of backlash over it.
And the hardest part is for it to change, right? For the fighters to really have to make weight more, right? The other fighter has to deny
I agree. Or there has to be a way bigger penalty.
Right.
Yeah,
What if you
and,
start
like,
the
you don't
round?
get
What if
paid.
you started a 10-9 first round?
Something like that. I'd be down.
That's my solution.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't think about that long, but that's
Let me give you a
pretty good.
statistic because Chris and Daniel are split on this. So in the last 10 fighters who have missed weight in the UFC since March 1st, they are 5-5.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. That's 50%.
It depends
Chris,
what
that's
you're
way
looking
less
at.
than 90%.
It depends.
Chris has the worst stats.
No, but
of all.
this is newer stats. I'm just saying, sometimes you're going to have guys, maybe the guy who's not a
5-5.
good fighter doesn't make weight, he's still not going to win the fight. But if it's even fighters are very close, even on paper, if you don't have to cut that extra couple pounds, that's a huge advantage. Are you telling me it's not an advantage not to cut those extra pounds?
I'm not saying it's not a huge advantage. I'm just saying that they're not winning 90% of the time.
Okay, so if it's a huge advantage and both guys are on paper like
Even
very
matchup?
close, even matchup,
Okay,
it's
what
an
are the
advantage.
odds? What were the odds going into that fight? What were the odds between Raposo and
I do not have an
then I'm
odd
going
sheet.
to
Maybe
because
they
then
can give me
tomorrow
It just shifted.
Then tomorrow we're gonna talk. We'll say it.
It shifted.
Yeah,
Big time.
Lima was a big favorite, minus 275.
So the underdog is taking the fight, Chris.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now what's going to happen?
We will find out
Now he
tomorrow.
has another disadvantage.
Okay, guys, we could talk about this all day. I say start first round 10-9 for if you don't make weight. But anyway, let's move on because we've got to talk about the main event that people love.
Yes.
Islam versus Dustin Poirier. Islam, of course, we've talked about it throughout the show, is coming off back-to-back wins against one of the best fighters in the sport in Alexander Volkanovski. But Saturday, Islam faces a lightweight for the first time since he won the belt against Charles Oliveira back in 2022. So I want you three to rank Islam's toughest opponents so far in the UFC and where you think Saturday's version of Dustin Poirier fits.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to start with Chris Weidman because I felt like you were already jumping the gun. Go for it.
Okay, this is a very tough question because it's credentialed opponents versus who was the toughest matchup for him. So I went with just toughest overall opponents in the totality of their careers. Volkanovski, he was the pound for pound number one. For him to get a win over him was huge. And he got a win over him twice. So I'll go Volkanovski as one. Oliveira, what he's done in his career is really outstanding, especially in the latter part of his years. So Oliveira number two. Then Arman Tsarukyan. This is a fight that people should go back and watch because it was a very close fight. If I went on what was the toughest fight for him, it would be between Volkanovski and Tsarukyan. But because Tsarukyan hasn't really proved himself against the big names yet, but if you watch that fight, that was a razor close fight.
And that Armand took that on short notice for his debut.
Super short notice fight. He was very, very, very young. He's only improved. I would love to see that fight again. Then I'd put Dustin Poirier. And it's tough to put a guy like Dustin Poirier at number 4, but when you look at those guys above him, I mean, these guys are good. And then Bobby Green, because if you look at everyone else he's fought, that would be the fifth toughest guy.
I love that list. Jim Miller, who do you got?
If we're going like 1 to 5, or before you guys messed me up and we went
TV is 5 to 1. You go bottom to the highest.
All right, bottom to the highest.
TV.
Yeah. Okay, all right, for TV. I'd say that his fifth toughest opponent, just based on danger and like how dangerous the guy is Dan Hooker. I think Hooker's just he's super tough, super dangerous with those knees, right? I'm going to have Arman at 4. I think it was a tough fight. He was super young, right? The fight is different these days. I have Dustin at number 3. He could be number 2. You know, we'll see what he looks like tomorrow night. I have Volk at number 2, pound for pound. Granted, he's coming up a weight class, but pound for pound number 1, super well-rounded. And then my number 1 is Oliveira. The Oliveira that Islam beat was, dude, he's friggin' Charles Oliveira.
Yeah. All right. He's dangerous as hell.
Yeah, and he subbed him out, like with an arm triangle. I mean, I didn't expect that to happen.
All right, here's my list. This is the right list. At number 5, Jim, I agree. Dan Hooker, right? Dan, because you got to remember where they were at the time in their career. Dan Hooker was still winning. He was doing good. That's why he fought Islam Makhachev in Abu Dhabi. At number 4, I got Dustin Poirier. Because Dustin Poirier today is as good as anyone. But we have to remember that Benoit Saint-Denis was having a pretty good fight against him early until Dustin caught him with the right hook. But Dustin is as dangerous as anyone in the world. Number 3, Charles Oliveira. Because at the time, Charles Oliveira was just buzzing through this division. He had beaten Justin Gaethje only a few months before, and he beat him very impressively in Arizona, made it look pretty easy. At number 2, I got Alexander Volkanovski. He was number 1 pound-for-pound guy in the world. He had beaten everybody at 145, went to 155, and won the 5th round against Islam, which made the fight look very, very close. And at number 1, I got Arman Tsarukyan. Not because of how close the fight was the first time. I got Arman Tsarukyan because he fought him on a week's notice, short notice, was able to not only fight and lose a unanimous decision, but win a round on one judge's scorecard. But then I watch Arman as the number 1 contender now for next, and I know he's going to be even tougher this time.
I love these 3 lists. Bravo, gentlemen. But right now we have a special guest who knows Dustin Poirier pretty well. It is the Bud Light Genie. And Genie, I know that you and Dustin are pretty close, right?
Oh, El Diamante?
Yeah, we go way back. We go way back.
Thank you.
It sounds like you guys are the best of friends, and if you at home didn't know, let's take a look at this special relationship.
Let's.
Whoa. Bud Light Genie? Wishes? Hit me. Make me tall. Easy. I wish aliens were real. Be nice. That's an alien.
Hang with Dustin Poirier.
You started without me. You thinking what I'm thinking? Let's go. What do you bench? Go. You and I should get in there. Is that funny?
I love it. I mean, you asked him if you guys got in there, who'd win?
He can use any wish he wants at any point. I'm there to be with him. He's going to need a wish with me.
I love it. All right, Genie. Well, we asked these 3 for their list, so I want to know, among Islam's toughest opponents, where do you think that Dustin ranks?
So I had your team put together my rankings. Incidentally, 1 through 5, all Dustin.
Okay. I feel like that might be like a little bit biased.
Biased? You wish. My friend, look. We all know that my guy's got some magic up his sleeve, and like his walkout song says, well, he's already paid the cost to be the boss. So I think all we need to worry about is getting these celebratory Bud Lights on ice for tomorrow, you know what I mean?
Okay. Genie, so
cheers. Cheers.
Celebratory Bud Light, Dustin Poirier gets the job done. But I got a question for you.
Please.
I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana, and I know Dustin Poirier, love Dustin Poirier, but 5-1, my guy, you're being a little bit biased, they say. They say we're biased at times.
Daniel, a prescription for you. Believe in magic.
Okay.
Not that Dustin's going to need it. That's my guy.
Genie, should he win, what's the celebration?
What's the celebration? 2 fists in the air, Bud Light in the other.
3 fists needed.
Glory. I'm getting another wish.
How does he get the finish?
How does he get the finish?
Yeah. What's the prediction?
Magician never tells. Just kidding.
Guillotine.
I'm working on that wish for you, Megan. Just give me a few minutes. Hold on, I'm getting another wish here. I got to roll, but when it comes to UFC, when it comes to the diamond, flawless. Am I right?
Exactly. Beautiful.
Perfect.
Genie, such a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be
Will we
here.
see you at the fight?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Keep your hands back to yourself. No wishes granted.
No third hand for everybody.
Let it play out the way it's going to play out, man.
Genie, thank you for being here. The Bud Light Genie, everyone. All right, we are going back to the weigh-in scale, and there is Paulo Costa.
Man, he's
right.
looking good.
He's talking to the crowd.
One of the best-looking fighters in the history of the UFC. Steps on the scale. We know he cuts a lot of weight.
185, the official weight.
And he gets it
Paulo
done.
Costa.
Everyone's confused on the 5-round fight with him being so damn jacked and explosive. If it's going to be a bad idea for him or not. He's coming off a razor split decision with Whitaker, so he's looking to get back in the win column. And what an opportunity to go against the #1 ranked guy in the division, which would set him up for the title fight.
This one here.
All right, Jocelyn Edwards.
Overweight.
Is that what just happened?
1 pound overweight.
Oh, she's going to ask for the towel. Okay.
Oh, she's asking for the Cormier towel.
She's asking for the desk. That's the curtain of shame.
This guy
the curtain of shame.
I've never seen him stumble.
Oh my God.
I've never seen him stumble.
That is the curtain of shame. That's what I call it.
Is that what you called it when you used it?
I didn't use the curtain of shame.
You
The
used a
curtain of
towel.
shame.
He created the
shame was
curtain of shame.
created because of my behavior.
I'm just so happy.
You know, like,
Isn't this DC the best? Like, he's
Legacy,
actually honest.
yeah,
It
you
was
know, like,
5 years he would refuse
that's
to
your
admit
curtain
it.
of shame, DC.
It is my curtain
It
of shame.
needs to be the DC curtain of shame.
I should sign my signature right over the top of it that says UFC. The curtain of
The
shame.
Daniel Cormier. You should.
I will say
trademark
this
it.
though. I will say this. Chris, I'll bet you Jocelyn Edwards doesn't make weight taking off that clothes a pound.
Unless it was sweaty.
I bet it won't be a pound.
Well,
You
and
know
she's
what?
going
I'm
to
gonna
be
say she makes
frustrated by
weight.
that
I'm
because
gonna
there's
say she
already
makes
so
weight.
much bad blood between
Yes, that's
her
what
and
I'm saying.
Eileen Perez.
That
Yo,
won't weigh
this
a
is the
pound
thing.
though.
This is the thing, though.
Tap
If she's
that
a
scale
pound
too much.
over on one of these scales, on the meat scales, as long as she's under 0.5,
She made it.
136, the official weight for
my
Jocelyn.
goodness.
Let me tell you guys
La
a little
Pantera
secret.
on
If you need to be 136, you really just got to be under 136.5. If you're 136.4, you're gonna make weight on the meat
How?
scales. That's why we don't use the digital scales.
Don't give that advice, Chris.
Chris, that's
Don't
so
give that
stupid. You
advice.
can't be a half
There
pound
are
overweight.
impressionable fighters watching. You must make
can't be
weight.
a
You
half
sign
pound
the
overweight,
contract.
Chris.
You make weight for that.
I'm here to tell the people the truth.
You got to give the people what
I'm
they
here for
want.
the
huh?
people.
You
And
gotta
Chris
give
is
what they
always a
want.
little bit overweight, apparently, is the truth.
Burt Watson taught me
Chris
that
is
trick.
always a little overweight. dog.
Just a smidge overweight for the former
The underwear
champion.
does the trick.
Oh, my God.
Pound of underwear.
All right, well, Jocelyn Edwards is getting her clothing back on to be able to do her posing on the scale. That fight, second, I believe, on the card, that's got a lot of heat on it. They got into it
That
at the
one is
UFC
not
Performance
good.
Institute.
Dude, that is not good. And that story is crazy.
Yes.
Tell us the story. What
No.
happened?
Yeah,
It's that
they
bad.
just got it. They had a little scrap.
It's bad.
And,
I'll tell you off air.
Yeah, and
It's bad.
they definitely
They
have
need
a
to
lot
fight
of
each other.
animosity. The corners have animosity
Yes.
between one another as well. So
They need to fight.
Definitely don't miss
Okay,
that
good.
fight. Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
I'm excited for it.
Okay, so I'm being told that on this show we do a lot of TikTok trends.
Yes, we do.
So this week's trend is apparently viral. I have no idea. I don't use TikTok, even though someone posts for me on there.
You don't use TikTok?
Okay, so it's called out of breath screaming. No, because I'm old. You blow all the air out of your chest and then scream as loud as you can.
Yeah.
Apparently, here's an example video. What? I don't know what that last guy was just doing.
All right. So here's what we got. I'm the champ. So what I'm doing is, I'm doing Megan first, then
You know, Daniel.
Jim, then Chris, then me.
Okay.
All right.
Do I look at my single for this?
Yes, you do. And blow
Okay.
all the air out of your
excited.
chest.
Okay, no, but I feel like I already can't breathe, so I'm going to take a big breath and let it out. Okay.
Oh,
What was that?
go ahead, Jim.
Our producers are laughing, which makes my day.
Is he breathing?
What the fuck?
All right.
Blow it all out. Oh my God.
You better breathe it all out.
Come on,
breathe
DC.
it all out. Be a true team player right now.
Okay.
All out. Keep going. And now go. That's awesome.
Wait,
Play it back.
I actually love
Play
being
it
able
back.
to do stuff like this
my
at
God.
work.
Yeah,
Let
this
me
is
back on the
awesome.
show more often.
That was
This is
bad.
really fun, actually. I like
That
this
was
TikTok.
dead.
Oh, I breathe?
You breathe, Chris.
Tell me when to let it. You tell me when to go.
You got a little discipline. Get it all out.
That's awesome. That is. I guess that was more real.
Why did it go
That
on?
was amazing. Okay, it is time for our next
It's like
topic.
the dying breath.
Okay.
All right, so we know that through hard work and determination and using his breath appropriately, Dustin Poirier has become one of the most beloved fighters ever on the UFC roster. The last thing left to accomplish in his Hall of Fame career is, of course, getting the undisputed lightweight world title.
Greatness. What is greatness? Greatness begins as a hunger. Let's go, champ. A burden that you nourish from the first sweat. It's the culmination of the seconds, the early mornings, the late nights, the many years. It's the tolls embraced, the thresholds that you discovered just to blow right past them. Greatness is the courage to walk into the unknown, to find out for yourself what lies on the other side. Because to be terrified is to be exhilarated, and to fail is to learn. It's to know your depths and to keep digging, to withstand the greatest adversity. If adversity's taught me anything in the past,
it's when times are good, be grateful, and when times like this, be graceful.
Greatness drives a hard bargain. It's tough to suffer a million times, to empty yourself time and time again.
Oh my God!
So that when it's on the line, you can fill up with glory.
Dustin Poirier has knocked out Conor McGregor!
Every drop of sweat and blood to the decimal. Now that's greatness.
That was an unbelievable piece.
Yeah.
Bravo to whoever wrote it. And Dustin voiced it so beautifully. I was starting to get emotional. Daniel, I know that you said you were. I mean, to know Dustin as a person is to love him because he uses his platform in a way he doesn't need to. He goes out of his way to help others. He's obviously an incredible athlete to watch perform, but there's so much more to him that you almost love more than the entertainer that we see.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's the one thing he said, because I know that as much as anyone because I'm from the same place. He said, where I'm from, I've already won. So when you lose, it sucks to lose, of course, but we're not supposed to be that. When you come from Lafayette, it's not an easy place to grow up in. And it's not like everybody's like uplifting you to go and be something great. They rather see you kind of fail. So, and not everybody, but some. But Dustin Poirier has been a guy that has been a guiding light to the community in Lafayette, to so many others. I mean, his Good Fight Foundation, they're giving so many kids school supplies every year, turkey drive, Christmas drive. He just is he's a guiding light for the people of our hometown, and to watch him reach this level. I met Dustin Poirier after I fought in Strike Force. I fought a guy, I fought Jeff Munson. Went home, and when I got home, I met Dustin Poirier in 2011, I think it was, or maybe 10. And he was in a small gym, and we sparred together. And I said, wow, this kid's going to be really good. I didn't know that he would turn into this guy. And I'm so happy for him and Jolie and his entire family.
Yeah, it's awesome to see, you know, like the success that he's had and the superstar that he's become. You know, like living the life as a fighter is not easy. You know, there's the highs and the lows. There's a lot of the struggles that the fans don't get to see. You know, but like here's a guy that, you know, I think a vast majority of us are fans of the way that he carries himself inside the octagon, and he's one of those athletes that you're also a fan of the way that he carries himself outside.
Yeah.
You look at him as a man, as a husband, as a father, and it's like he's doing the right stuff, and it's like I only wish him success. You know, it's like I'm a fan of both guys in the main event, you know, but it's like, man, I want him to do well because I know what he's doing. He's doing good stuff.
No, absolutely. And so should Dustin Poirier win the title, obviously that will be such a feel-good championship moment for the UFC and its fans. But RJ, I'll start with you. I want to get into your top 3 feel-good championship stories.
Okay, we'll start with number 3. I was surprised I put this one too. Forrest Griffith. He won the Ultimate Fighter, got the big ears, the goofy smile. You're like, all right, that's kind of cool, not championship material. And then he goes and becomes champion. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Number 2, Michael Bisping. And I want everyone to know that when he fought Luke Rockhold, he was the actual true #1 contender. Jacare was hurt. Romero had his USADA thing. Rockhold was hurt. You were hurt, Chris. He was like, you know, like when like the Secretary of State becomes president because like the 4 people ahead of him died. That's what happened. Michael Bisping was next in line correctly. So he got that title shot, left hook Larry. The only time he ever one-punch knocked out anyone, and he saved it for the big time. And Glover Teixeira, 942 years old, finally gets there. Couldn't go into the UFC
Did you
forever.
say he was 942 years old?
In a few months.
Okay.
I don't have the exact number. Didn't get into the UFC for years because of visa issues. Finally gets in there. Had a shot against John Jones. Didn't get it. Finally comes back. What a great story. And it could happen to a nicer guy.
That's our T.O. Glover. All right, Chris?
All right, I'm going to start from 3 to 1 because that's the way you do it on TV, is what DC says.
Seventh show, you finally got it. Good job.
And do I have this right? Do I have my list right? I think so. All right, number 3, Frankie Edgar. Just to see what he's battled through. He was always the smaller guy. He was not the strongest guy, but his heart is what he brought to the table every single time, as well as the skills. But to see what he was able to accomplish being a smaller guy, and especially back then, I feel like guys might have even cut more weight back then, was really crazy. And you've seen how much weight he ended up cutting towards the end of his career, how small he really was. And what he was able to accomplish at 155 was unbelievable. So that's the feel-good story at number 3. Number 2, Matt Serra. I'm biased because he was my coach and a mentor to me. But for him to go out there after winning the Ultimate Fighter show against Chris Lytle and fight George St. Pierre, to go to the game and to get a knockout over him. I mean, that feeling that I felt was crazy. I never had another fight where I felt like that. It was awesome. And then number 1, Charles Oliveira, because I seen him fight since we were fighting in Ring of Combat days, and to see him battle through tons of, ups and downs, and no one's really talking to him, and then to see him get to the pinnacle of the sport and become a champion, and to know where he's from the favelas of Brazil, I don't think you get much more better feels than that.
Yeah, that's a good list. All those guys, great stories. But for me, I'm going to start at number 3, Jan Blachowicz. Dude, I remember Jan Blachowicz won the world championship, and that run he went on to become world champ, where he knocked out Dominic Reyes, he knocked out Luke Rockhold, and Jan Blachowicz was in the same weight class as me. I had no idea he was even at 205. I thought he was an 85-pounder that went up. That's how much of a forgotten thought it was that he could be a champion. So to watch him become the champ, especially in that fashion, was very cool to see. Michael Bisping, because let's just call it what it is. And Mike will tell you himself, guys were cheating. Guys were cheating before USADA and before drug testing, and they would beat Mike. The moment people had to fight him on a level playing field, he became a world champion. And I love that.
What are you saying about Luke Rockhold? That's your teammate
Dude, I'm just saying. Luke was the champ. Luke got knocked out. Luke became the champ after USADA. So maybe I'm speaking to Luke's point, that everybody was cheating. I'm not saying you're cheating, but guys were cheating.
But Luke was cheating?
Luke was the champ before USADA. No, after USADA.
Yeah.
Luke won the championship after USADA had came, so he won.
Okay.
So essentially, I'm saying maybe you were cheating.
I'm thinking
you were cheating.
No, because
actually.
I'm thinking Rockhold got knocked out by Bisping pre-USADA. Rockhold knocked out Bisping pre-USADA.
Yes,
But
but when everybody had to fight him even, Michael Bisping became world champion.
Yeah.
That was a big deal, and that meant a lot to me to see him do that. And for a guy that's been around forever, he got it done. And for me, it was Glover Teixeira. I remember Glover Teixeira always being right on the verge. I remember sitting octagon side to watch him fight Rumble to determine who would fight me next. Rumble knocked him out in 15 seconds. I remember sitting at the desk calling fights. When Glover Teixeira would win, he'd be like, DC, you and I will be next at some point. But then something would always happen. And then for the first time, when he won that belt, it felt universal, right? Nobody was mad. Yeah. Everybody was happy for him because he's such a great guy. So number 1 for me, easy. They're on different worlds.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's take a look at my list because they let me participate in this one, which I love it. But I forget the order. Okay, Michael Bisping, for all the reasons that you guys said. He took it on short notice. He had been around for so long. And even his own son, I think it was Lucas at one point, is on Embedded saying, you're not going to win. And, people were counting him out because he stepped in so late and he hadn't been there yet. But he got there. He got his hand raised. It was at UFC 199, which is essentially in his backyard of Los Angeles, and there were so many friends and family there. His kids were there. I just remember the reaction backstage, which is something I'm always really lucky to be privy to, and I'll never forget it. Number 2, also very unforgettable, Chris Weidman over Anderson Silva at UFC 162. We were there, and I just remember there was so much hope around Chris Weidman, but Anderson Silva was almost like a mythical creature. It was like, oh, he's magic. He's so good that no matter what it takes, he's able to get his hand raised. And in comes this man wearing the American flag around his shoulders, getting the support of so many in that building and throughout the week. And then you just did what so many thought was impossible, and the way in which you did it just made the crowd go crazy, obviously cemented your legacy as just one of the best ever, and I think was such a feel-good moment for so many.
That's my boy.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
That's right. He punched a fucking hole through his chest.
That's right, baby.
And my number one is Frankie Edgar over BJ Penn, UFC 112. That was in Abu Dhabi. Again, Frankie Edgar, like you guys said, he was small. He was counted out. BJ Penn is BJ Penn, the legendary guy licking blood off of his gloves. And I actually watched that fight just across the river in New York City, and I remember the whole bar essentially wanting Frankie to win, but not thinking that he would, and thinking, oh, BJ's got this. And here comes this little guy from Toms River, New Jersey, who probably ate a bowl of spaghetti before he even stepped on the scale. He used to talk about how much he would eat before the weigh-in scale to be 155. And Frankie Edgar got his hand raised, and the Garden State celebrated. Jim Miller, who do you got?
You know, my list is names that have already been mentioned. Matt Serra's my number 3 to go in there against the GOAT, GSP, and to get that upset was amazing. And to, as he said, serve some humble pie in the back, you know, afterwards. Number 2 is Glover. Again, just an awesome human being. You know, you guys pointed out every fact that he went through a lot to get there. And my number 1 is Bisping. You know, avenging a loss, short notice, title fight, and to go out there and to win it the way that he did. Yeah.
And he was blind in an eye, I think, at that point already, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I remember sitting in the octagon after Bisping won, and I was sad for Luke. But then when you look at Mike and his whole family, you were like, wow, that was very special.
It was really sweet. Guys, before we move on, we're talking about feel-good stories. And, I mean, Jim, watching you compete at 100, 200, and 300 was really amazing. And you know, a feel-good moment to see somebody have a legacy like that. I know it didn't go your way, but for your future, what is that looking like in your mind?
I don't know. You know, I'm just trying to continue on. You know, I got a few more fights left in me. For me, it's really been about those training camps, how those training camps feel, and how difficult they are. You know, fight nights can be difficult. You know, this one, I banged myself up a little bit, got more stitches than I've ever had to get from a fight. But it's the camps that really wear you down, and those are the ones that, like, they make you hate it.
Yeah.
Right? Fight night's awesome. Fight night's the best thing ever. It's that day-to-day beating yourself up. So if I can continue to get through these couple more camps for a couple more years, like, we're going to do it. And you know, I said it in the lead up to that fight that I don't know if I want to fight more than 50 times in the UFC. It's a silly thing to say, right? I got 44. You know, if I get to fight at my pace,
get the 50.
That's
gonna be hard
2 years.
Well, Jim.
Yeah.
It's 2 years.
That's an awesome
Listen,
one.
Get the 50,
you keep
Jim.
fighting, we'll keep watching.
You'll be the only person ever to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then maybe you get in the Hall of Fame.
Maybe.
In my opinion.
We'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
Maybe.
You have to get to 50.
Well, we're not starting that conversation. But Chris, you were on my feel good moments list. So that being said, we saw you fight and win in Atlantic City. Anything on the horizon?
Yeah, you know, my wife has too many chores for me to do in the summer because otherwise I'd be ready to go. So I'm probably going to tell the UFC the fall. And I love like a bigger name, a fun fight, a fight where people actually know the other guy's name. You know, Bruno Silva, you know, I needed to prove something. I was coming over a Brad Tavares loss, so I needed to prove something against an up-and-comer like that not too many people know. And he was a dangerous dude with some good wins, but still not like a bigger name. I would love like a fight that is exciting for the people to watch. Yeah.
Is Madison Square Garden maybe on the radar for fall?
Yeah, I would say that probably makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll both be on it.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do
yes.
MSG together.
Someone send this to Sean Shelby, please. Okay,
I'll
we'll see you
co-main
guys
to you.
in November.
I
Just
guess
a couple
John
of miles
Jones
down
and
the road.
Steve Bacon made. Never mind.
Yeah, you guys, y'all can
All
co-main
right,
the
well, the
prelim.
UFC 302 weigh-in show is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. We are coming to you live from the Prudential Center here in New Jersey. Now, Islam Makhachev has been nothing but dominant since his UFC debut back in 2015. And with a win on Saturday, he will pass Tony Ferguson and his mentor Khabib Nurmagomedov for sole possession of the longest win streak in UFC lightweight history with 13 straight victories. So let's take a deeper dive into the mindset that allows Islam to be just so dominant.
A real champion have to be ready for anyone. I don't care about my opponent's style because I have my style and everybody know my style.
There's the tap. Wow. The belt en route to Dagestan.
I got to read this quote to you guys from Islam Makhachev. You get the call to take this fight short notice, you take on Volk, and he says, what does this title represent? It means you're the best in the world. And if you're the best in the world, it doesn't matter who is going to be standing across from you. What do I say? No, never. Let's do this.
Let's go! Oh! Head kick from Makhachev! Huge moment in round one! Oh! That'll do it! And still, and with style points, Islam Makhachev is the man!
Some people underestimated my striking, but I show I am not just wrestler, grappler, or striker. I know I'm the best MMA fighter in the world.
Remember, his striking was his weakest point, and now it's dangerous as anybody in the division.
He is such a special talent.
You keep doing this, he's going to be known as the greatest lightweight ever.
Khabib came in and won the title and defended, but this kid could go on a defense run that absolutely blows everybody away that ever held the belt in that division.
I will beat everyone. I'm gonna beat all the records.
Well, Islam is certainly looking to have yet another title defense on Saturday night. We asked the gentlemen up here to rank their top 5 active, most dominant fighters in the UFC. RJ, I love that you're up here because normally you're backstage with me during fights and you don't get to shine. So now I'm glad that you're here and I'm going to let you go first.
I want to have a boot off with Jim. He's got some spider stompers on there.
You mean you just want to talk about the ostrich?
To make myself look
He's
a
got
little taller,
ostriches.
you know, like.
Show your ostrich.
That's our secret.
Can you show the world your ostrich boots? That's real ostrich.
Okay, there's
Lift that leg,
Jim.
RJ.
Look at these things. These are nice. Feel that.
Had I known, I would have worn my gaiters.
Look at that.
Well,
It's
here's
got
the
like
problem with these boots.
Lone Star
what's wrong with
over
it?
there.
It don't matter how nice your guys' boots are, they still look dirty. Like y'all just be playing in the mud. Like I can tell y'all you shine those and they still look
They're
dirty.
blue collar.
Guess which animal had to die to make me look good?
All right, yeah, please. Yeah, guys, there's let's not talk about these boots. I have a tea time. And if
Oh, wow.
priorities. All right, top 5 most dominant fighters in the UFC right this moment. Number 5, Tom Aspinall. 7-1 in the UFC, 6 first-round finishes, 1 second-round finish. If it weren't for his ACL just exploding against Curtis Blades, he might be number 1. Number 4, Dricus du Plessis, undefeated in the UFC, 7-0, 5 finishes. He only lost 1 round up until a split decision win over Sean Strickland.
Songbird.
Number 3, Merab Dvalishvili. 10-fight win streak, 9 decisions. He's fought 29 rounds in the UFC during that win streak. Guess how many he's lost?
0.
2.
Oh, well.
Aldo and Cejudo. Number 2, Islam Makhachev, 13-fight win streak, crushing everybody. The only tiniest knock on Islam is that he arguably lost to a featherweight. Other than that, he's just been unbelievable. And number 1, Ilia Topuria. He lost 1 round in his very first fight in the UFC. 7-0, 5 finishes. His other decision against Josh Emmett, he scored a 50-42. That's the most dominant 5-round decision since Calvin Kattar, Max Holloway. Like,
That
he's
was
just been
wild in
so
Jacksonville.
dominant.
I remember
Yeah,
us just, yeah.
There you go. Good top 5.
All right, here we go. Starting number 5, my man Merab. I mean, just watch his last 2 fights. He carried Henry Cejudo across the octagon and was yelling out to Zuckerberg. I mean, do you get more dominant than that and more confident? The guy, and then his Peter Yan fight. He had the most takedowns in the history of the sport, completely dominate Peter Yan, who that's hard to do. Number 4, Leon Edwards. He's going for his 3rd title defense. He beat Kamaru Usman twice. Number 3, Ilia Topuria, 15-0. Just knocked out Volkanovski in a dominating fashion, man. The way if you're a fan of the sport, if you're a fan of boxing, the way his balance on his feet, the way he technically sets up his shot, how he keeps complete balance the whole entire time, he's really impressive to watch. Number 2, Islam Makhachev. He's on a 13-fight win streak. He's going for his 3rd title defense. 2 wins over Volkanovski. He's climbing up to the top. And then John Jones. I mean, no one's putting him on the list. I know he hasn't been fighting that much, but at the end of the day, the guy deserves everyone's respect.
Every 4 years, give you a very dominant win. Yep, that's the man.
My list
He's
is
never lost.
very similar to Chris's. Merab, he's number 5, absolute dog. I mean, stud. Duplessis is number 4 for me. Another guy he's undefeated in the UFC, right?
Yep.
Leon Edwards is on a pretty good run here. Welterweight champ. Can't deny him. Islam's number 2. Number 1 pound for pound. You have to have him there. And I got John Jones. Even though he's not super active.
Activity doesn't matter to you guys, huh?
Well, he's still technically fighting.
The guy with the most fights in the UFC thinks that's not a big deal.
You can't just take him out. You can't take him out of the
active means
thing.
like retired or not.
Yeah,
you know,
you
like,
guys had some great lists, and I have some of the same ones. I also have Ilya, I also have Jones, I have Makhachev at 1. But how about Alexander Volkanovski? When Max Holloway did what he did to Justin Gaethje, everybody applauded and thought it was the greatest performance. This guy was dominating Max Holloway very recently, like beating him in a way. And look what he did to the Korean Zombie and Brian Ortega and all these guys. Alexander Volkanovski is one of the most dominant guys. Can't just say he's not because he lost to Islam up a weight and he lost to Ilya to Poirier. It doesn't work like that.
But UFC today.
Today. Shavkat that's why. Shavkat Rakhmonov. Bro.
That's a good one.
Unbelievable. The way he beats people up and dominates them. What are we doing here? It's like, do you guys not try? Do you not study? Are you just not, you
Has he fought for the belt yet?
Competition level matters.
He's dominating everybody that he fights. And I got Islam at number 1.
He couldn't take that
because for all the points we made earlier where I said lately he's been finishing guys in championship opportunities.
I'm surprised there's no Hamzat on anyone's list.
That's crazy. I thought about it when I was
He has a big fight coming up in Saudi Arabia. Okay, let's move on to our rent-free moment. This is a staple of the morning weigh-in show. Okay, here's how it works. Everyone up here will pick a moment from a fighter on this card that lives rent-free in their head. I have to remember what I picked. Oh, yes. Sean Strickland dropping Israel Adesanya and then going on to win the world title at UFC 293 once again. This is a guy that was kind of counted out before he got in there, and Israel Adesanya is known as one of the world's best strikers. So to see him not only start to get outstruck, but to be dropped in the way, and then we kind of thought, oh, was that maybe a fluke in the first round? Is it going to happen the rest of the fight? He went on to prove he has championship mettle. He got his hand raised there and really got a spot in all the fans' hearts. I mean, MMA fans love them some Sean Strickland.
Listen, Paul Costa versus Yoel Romero. These two dudes are like, it was like 2 superheroes fighting in there. They both look like they're on the secret juice, and they both went after each other. I mean, nobody was afraid of the power. They both are super explosive. They're sticking their tongues at each other. That was a fun ass fight. That's my rent-free moment.
Mine is Islam. Islam with the arm triangle submission over Charles Oliveira. Locks it up so fast that like there are escapes. There are things that you can do to defend against an arm triangle. And he locked it up so tight so quickly that Charles really didn't have much of an opportunity. He tries to roll a little bit and it's too deep.
He barely even cleared the mount. He probably would have submitted him from the mount had he stayed there.
Yeah.
It's that tight. All right, for me, it was Dustin Poirier knocked out Conor McGregor. I remember being in Abu Dhabi, and he started beating up Conor's leg with the outside leg kick, those calf kicks. Conor can't move. Dustin hits him with a right hook, points at him like, okay, now I got your timing. And then he hits him again. Conor starts to sag, and then Dustin walks him down, and then hits him with the big right hand that drops him. And then McGregor goes down. Me and Paul Felder were going crazy next to the octagon. I'll never forget this moment for DP.
I hope y'all are eating breakfast for this one. Paulo Costa, Luke Rockhold, just a slimy, grimy, plasma-filled. Let's get to the end. Let's get to the good part, guys. I don't know if the ladies were supposed to be turned on by this moment or turned off by this moment, but it was 12 abs.
He heard something.
Just slimy and grimy on each other.
Hey, what about when Luke was on the edge?
You might have
What about when Luke was on the edge?
I think it was worth a thought. I think
Luke was on the edge.
Thought crossed through my mind.
Luke was against the octagon. He looked at Paulo and goes, "Fuck you!" He never hit him. Fuck you! He just swung as hard as he could.
It's a technique I'm glad didn't catch on.
Ever, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Okay, well, Daniel's already impersonating somebody, which is perfect because our next game is MMA charades. Daniel, because you're holding the belt right now, you get to pick your teammate, but let me give you the rules here.
Okay.
You're going to get a flashcard. Each team will get a flashcard. There are 3 names on it. You get 45 seconds to try and get all 3 correct.
Okay.
You have to get all 3 right to earn a point.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, biggest rules, no sounds, No talking.
Okay.
So pick your teammate.
I'll take RJ. Go over there. I'm putting him with Jim Miller. I know Jim Miller.
I don't trust anyone.
Jim Miller. Here we go. Team Strike Force.
Do you want to go first or second, Daniel?
I'm going to sit and let RJ act it out first.
Oh, so they're going.
Oh, no, we'll go. Okay. We'll put some pressure on him. Let's put pressure on him.
No,
we'll
you're
go
going.
We'll go first?
We'll
go first.
Okay.
Let's put some pressure on him.
Who's going to act?
RJ's acting.
Okay, RJ.
I love it.
I need a folder.
Yeah, just take that.
The one time I do want DC to cheat.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me see them. Okay.
RJ, can you get these?
Oh, DC.
Yes.
This is going to be funny.
Okay. We have 45 seconds.
Make sure you get the ground.
Okay. Are you ready?
Are you going to have
One
a
shot.
folder?
Are you ready?
Ready.
Go.
Derek Lewis.
Whoa.
Valentina Shevchenko.
Shit.
Dustin Poirier.
There you go. Wow.
Hey,
Jim, we got some work to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just, 19 seconds.
Who's acting? Who's guessing?
Make Jim act. Jim act.
You want to act or
It doesn't matter to me, bud.
All right, you act.
All right, son of a bitch.
Okay.
RJ, you like
it
that?
does.
Oh,
Here you
shit.
go.
19
I
seconds.
think.
Those ones were.
Oh, please take it. Your teammate can't cheat.
You only
even
needed
though I
one
think you
guess
just
for each.
did.
That was the best part.
Oh, this one.
Okay. And we're going James.
Jimbo.
Oh, yeah, Queen Buckley?
Oh my God.
Do you have to
That was
pronounce the
really
name
good.
correctly to get it right?
It's what Queen.
Daniel Cormier's best friend.
I'm trying to think.
That
Wait,
shit is not.
don't you be holding that folder like that.
All right, sorry.
Go to the next guy.
Okay.
Take your time, Jim. Take your time, Jim.
All right, so Adam.
Oh, it's on. Oh.
It's up. Was that Paulo Costa? Sure. Henry Cejudo. Mighty Mouse.
People in the UFC, Chris.
People in the UFC.
That's over. I got it.
That's time's up.
Time's up. Time's up.
All right.
I mean, I knew this would happen.
Daniel, it's your turn to act.
So we're up 1-0. Yep.
Who's the second
Give me that
guy you
folder.
did?
Sorry.
Was it
It was supposed to be Sean Strickland.
right,
I was trying to figure out how to.
I wanted you to do the Philly
Is my
shell.
time
I
count?
wanted you to do the Philly shell.
Oh, that's right.
Philly
Yeah,
shell
I should have
would
done
be
that. Yes.
All right,
Okay.
Daniel. Ready? 3,
ready?
2, 1.
Who's the third?
Ready.
Okay.
25.
Dominic Cruz.
Yep. Yep.
That was really good.
Okay. 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 Look.
Maybe
Yo,
move
you're
on.
talking. He's making noises.
He's
That's
talking.
it. He's out.
Derek Lewis.
That's one fail. That's one
You already
fail.
did, Derek.
Skip.
Okay.
No, you
Come on,
don't talk.
DC. He said
Throws the
skip.
right hand in the head kick.
He said skip. He said
No, it's a new
skip.
guy. I'm on a new guy.
You did the same combo.
The same combo.
Okay.
Talk.
Cowboy Cerrone.
Dude,
You suck at charades.
You're doing the same.
I think I know
you
it.
gotta know this one. This one's so
That's
easy.
cheating.
Throws a right hand in the head.
He's cheating.
Yes.
Shut up! That's illegal. That's a minus.
Come on.
It was Robert
Leon
Whitaker
Edwards,
in
dude.
the
Heck
end.
yeah.
Yes.
You gotta do that.
You
gotta
said- you did the
I
same
knew it
Chris.
because I know
The
the game.
moment I threw the left
Chris
kick,
Weidman.
he's like,
when we
I
get
saw him
gimmies-
mouth, Leon Edwards.
If he gets gimmies, I'm gonna get him.
Can we steal?
He
Yeah.
literally
Okay,
put
ready, go.
terrible.
No.
Chris.
Oh,
terrible.
the Yuri?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Still the same questions. Still the same guys.
Same thing. You're trying to do the same thing.
Leon Edwards.
Oh. Yeah, I know who it is.
Duplessis. I don't know. You're singing.
Oh, man.
You're talking about his singing skills.
No, that's it. It's over. You guys are terrible at charades.
Time!
Michael Chandler.
We got All right, how do you do Tom Aspinall?
Yeah, it's impossible.
And then and Michael Chandler. Like
It's
they're not-
RJ acting.
Just fall to your just fall to your back and say your names.
Honestly, RJ and DC are getting
They
the
had
better
such
ones.
easier ones.
If they get 2, they win.
Tom Aspinall, like, what?
Honestly, they are getting a little bit of the easier ones. to
That's
act
way
out.
hard.
All right,
How do I
ready?
describe Tom Aspinall?
You ready?
So I only need to get 2 to win?
Yeah.
Yo, he's oh, that's mine.
You have to get all 3 to get the point.
Ready and
Go.
Alex Pereira.
Shit.
Left hook, yep. Eye pokes, Chris Weidman. Eye poke me, Stipe Miocic. John Jones. Okay.
Fuck.
Come on, RJ, please.
You got this one. You got this one.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Oh
That
my
was
God,
good.
RJ,
That was
hurry up, we got
pretty
15
good. That
seconds.
was good. How don't you know it? He's using
Adriano
props.
Ortiz. Oh, Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander Volkanovski, baby. Alexander Volkanovski.
Is legal? You guys are the winners. It was very
Can we get a
Alexander Volkanovski.
Can we
You
get a
can try again.
tiebreaker? Can we
You
get a
can try again. You
tiebreaker
can try
only
again.
only because we got the hardest.
Do you want a
try.
tiebreaker?
You guys
Okay.
didn't get hard ones.
There's no.
Yeah, you want to do one more?
You can do it for
Here,
fun.
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I'm
To
gonna
like
give
solidify your
You
You
silver
wanna
medal.
act?
You want me to act it? I'll act.
No, put Jim act. Put
You
Jim.
act.
I like when Jim act. I like when Jim act. Let Jim act.
All right,
Let
you
Jim
act.
act.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let Jim act.
Jim, give me that.
Jim's a great actor.
Oh yeah, let's do that one because.
No, hang on, Jim. Let me act. Let me
No,
act.
let Jim act.
Let me act.
You're
Hang on.
terrible.
No. I think we have a good bond. Like,
Okay.
with me act. All right.
You guys, he's in a Kevin James
Exactly.
movie, so let's let him act.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, but
He
I'm bad
knows
with
Kevin
names,
James.
so-
Okay.
He's
ready?
bad with names, bro.
I'm such a better actor than Namer.
This would have been a fun one.
Okay. Get fired.
Stephen Thompson.
Thank you. Oh, wait.
Ooh. Every boxer wrestler in the UFC.
Yeah, every boxer wrestler in the UFC.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Let's see.
I thought one of them on there was good for you.
Chris, come on, dude. Get back into the charades. Come on.
All right.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous.
Oh my God, somebody got knocked out.
Okay.
RJ at the bar tomorrow.
Johnny Walker.
Yes.
There we go. All right.
That is
Another
awesome.
one, I don't know
He
what
got
he got.
Johnny Walker.
I think
Well, because he did the worm.
Oh wait, I think I knew what that first one was. I think I knew what the first one was. Do it again. Do what you said again. Hamzat Chimaev.
Yes. Really?
That was really good. Hamzat Chimaev. Yes. Yes.
Whitaker's gonna hire him to mimic.
Because you level change. Yeah.
Never on your ass groove.
I don't really care. Good job, guys.
Okay, so it's time to spin the wheel. I have to make someone spin the wheel? No?
Well,
Okay.
apparently I have to do a sponsorship read first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, well, the UFC 302 morning weigh-in show is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Oh my God, we're welcoming in one of my favorite people ever, New Jersey Zone, Mackenzie.
she
And let me
goes.
just say,
Okay.
if you
Hey,
guys
Mackenzie
missed
girl.
Road to the Octagon, please go back and watch for many reasons. There were some great fights, but Mackenzie made her sort of reporter debut on a live broadcast for UFC, and you did unbelievably well. I was so proud of you and so happy for you, and I'm so glad we get to work together this morning.
Thank you so much. And I didn't realize this morning I was going to be in the presence of New Jersey greatness over there, but you guys can vouch for me when I say Memorial Day weekend really marks the start of summer here on the East Coast, and a very New Jersey thing to do is to head down to the beach, relax, and of course enjoy some incredible food. Now, I had the luxury of starting this fight week down in my hometown of Asbury Park, New Jersey, and guys, I might have relaxed a little bit too much.
What were you eating?
Oh, what a perfect day. What's up, DC?
Ooh, Friday. What are you bringing for me?
This week?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. The weigh-in show?
Oh, yeah. No, I have something really special planned. I'll see you on Friday. Oh. Okay, well, the good news is I'm in my hometown, Asbury Park. I know all of the best places, but the only problem is they're all so good, and I'm not sure which one to choose. Thank you. And we're in Jersey, so you gotta fold it, guys. Maruka's has some of the best pizza in Jersey. This slice is just so good, but I don't know. I feel like DC is gonna think pizza, New Jersey. It's a little predictable. Oh, tacos. So this Korean fusion taco stand actually opened when I worked on this boardwalk. We're not gonna say how many years ago, but I know that I love the beef and the chicken. Which one's your favorite?
My personal favorite is the beef. It's marinated beef with lettuce, with kimchi tikka bagaya, with scallions and stuff. It's very good.
Sign me up. I'll take one of those, please. This is nostalgia. See the problem here? I don't want to share these. Okay, DC loves ice cream, and Strollo's Lighthouse has been my favorite my entire life, so this one will be good.
Hi, what can I get for you?
Can I do mango Italian ice and vanilla soft serve, please? Thank you. Thank you. The best. Just as I remember. But this is gonna melt before Friday. We've already done ice cream. I mean, oh my gosh. Pliables, it's perfect. We all know that DC loves a good Brazilian snack. Oh. Well, you simply cannot go wrong with the Nutella acai bowl. Can I have one of those, please? This, thank you, looks incredible. As to be expected. Yeah, this is the winner. We'll see you Friday. DC, the Brazilian snacks. We have pliables. We have for you a mango base. We said the acai might get you in a little trouble, so we went mango base for you today. Chris Weidman, you already started.
Mango base is unbelievable.
Okay. Megan has the Nutella bowl over there. That's the one that's actually my personal favorite.
And she knows the way to my heart. And look, Polly Walnuts loves it too. I changed clothes for our next segment.
We love it. Well, so Pliables was actually started by a girl who went to my high school. It is the perfect post-surf snack. They started it in just like a little, like a wheeled stand outside of a 7-Eleven, and it took off.
Yeah, they doing better than that now.
Yeah, dominated.
They making money now.
Yeah, making that cash money.
Another rich person.
Yeah, we went. Well, it was perfect because I relaxed a little too much on the beach. I forgot about the weigh-in show.
I had to call you up.
We have to pull out all the stops. So we brought in New Jersey's best. I can vouch for this place.
Is good.
I've been eating it for more than 10 years. And I actually think we might have some gifts from Pliables for you guys. Let me see.
It just keeps getting better.
Daniel, I know you said you have a tea time, so I'm going to just give you this one right here. Hat.
Hey, hat me.
Oh, I need to hat you. Okay, hold on.
He's very demanding.
You want forward or backward?
There we go. Put it forward.
There we go.
There we go. It's not even in my head.
Oh.
It's not even in my head.
I'm not. I'm only doing one.
It's a good look.
Megan, your hair looks too good.
Oh,
Jim,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Mackenzie looked like a movie star in that feature as well.
That
was all Nick Villani, that man behind the camera right
we
there.
We absolutely love him.
My head's as big as DC's.
This morning show. Can I do this more often so I can work with all of my friends?
And
that's awesome.
you get
This
food.
is the best.
It's the best part.
This is
win.
This is all I'm gonna do.
Oh, I have a bowl waiting for me.
Oh.
This is amazing.
got
Oh,
our own bowl.
thank you. This is the Nutella. This one's acai. Can I trust you with it? Or is the Brazilian flair going
I'm
to
gonna
get you in
fall in
trouble?
love with the acai bowl or whoever made it. You saw me with the
taking it
Brazilian.
with me
You saw me out
then.
there.
You
I'm
guys.
gonna fall in love with whoever made the acai bowl.
Okay, well then I'm going to walk far away with this acai bowl. Thanks for having me as always,
Oh,
guys.
thank you, Mackenzie.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Check out Pliables if you're in New Jersey, New York. Honestly, if you see it anywhere all over the country, they are all around.
Wait,
and we
they
gotta
started
get
from
one
a
in
cart?
Las Vegas.
They started from a cart, now they all around the country?
Yeah, girl.
Hey, man, they got a brother. Hey, boy, hey, can I hold something? Hey, my brother got hold something.
How about this? Me and DC will open one in Vegas. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
We
You
got
guys,
business.
enjoy the bowl.
Mackenzie, you're the best.
Thank you, Mackenzie.
So proud of you, girl. That was. I love you guys. The fact that you're letting me eat while I'm at work on camera, because I'm usually hiding my snacks. Like, Daniel and I are just
This
at the
is
Octagon.
the best show ever. I wanted to pitch the idea of renaming the show. So,
What are we going to rename it to?
The Morning Weigh-In Show starring Daniel Cormier.
Okay, so you just want to add. Okay, cool. Got it. He wants top billing.
I
Okay.
don't like it.
Chris, you're out?
I believe
Yeah, I don't
it's
think I
time
like
for trivia. Oh my God, who spilled?
That would be Mackenzie.
Party foul.
Wow,
Oh, no, that's
good thing
not
the genie is busy. You know?
One of those wishes. Get
Right.
It's trivia time.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Can you guys get your whiteboards out?
Yep.
Okay, so
Whiteboard trivia.
I don't know. Can I look at my single?
This is all DC does. Is that
I have
it's so easy for him.
I just brought this because our producer Lappy, I was
I don't
wearing
have
like
a
a
marker.
themed T-shirt for
Yes, next
rehearsals
to
for the pay-per-view. This was my themed T-shirt, but now we are doing some trivia that includes The Sopranos. So
Oh, that's nice.
rest in
Yeah.
peace.
Love that.
Love Polly
Game-
Walnuts.
Yeah, there you go.
You're gonna be good at this.
You know, appropriate music for your girl.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to do a mixture of, I think Jim probably just saw every answer. Italian,
I wish I did.
Sopranos, New Jersey.
Oh, you cheated.
I did.
Trivia. So, first things first. What is the capital of the country of Italy?
Easy.
And if you have not gone, let me
You gotta
plan your
think
trip.
outside the box. You gotta think outside the box.
Okay. Oh wait, I got it. Hold on.
I see what you're doing, Weidman. Okay, are you guys ready? It's relation 3, 2, 1.
Florence, Italy.
Yeah, I know I'm wrong.
Okay, Rome is correct.
Damn it!
Woo! My dad from Naples, so we'll appreciate. What did you write? Sicily and then you
Yep,
crossed it
then
out to
Florence. Then
Okay.
Florence.
Okay, Daniel.
The only two places I think
I thought
are in
Rome was
Italy.
too easy.
So did I.
All right, here's a Sopranos themed
Okay.
question.
Oh no.
You guys should probably know this.
Okay.
What's the name of the New Jersey strip club that Tony Soprano owned?
Oh God.
Oh yeah, I got that.
That's cool. Okay, wait.
Okay.
Wait.
3, 2, 1. Flowers?
Tootsies! Tootsies, baby! No!
It's the bada bing!
Wait.
Bing.
Hey, Cloud Nine?
Go out west. There's one in Jersey.
Hey,
Called
they're
Smile.
usually some combination of Tootsies, Cloud Nine.
We didn't name the ones you guys go to.
Oh, okay. I just said, like, I don't
Everyone's
know.
named their own personal.
I don't know what his was, but I know personally there's some combination of those names.
This guy knows a lot of shit from there.
It's the bada bing. I didn't even think that was a hard question, but I guess I didn't think Rome was hard. Bada bing.
Bada bing.
Come on.
Maron. All right. How many seasons of The Sopranos are there? You guys aren't. Just guess.
Of course. With pure confidence.
3, 2, 1. Okay, it's 6. Everyone's so good at this.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Where is Cassandra? Somebody's cheating.
He's right
Don't
there.
wreck our show, you hoser.
Silvio Dante is a Sopranos character who is played by Steven Van Zandt. What band is he also in real life? Steven Van Zandt, what band is he also in? You know, I think I'm gonna have to teach you guys about my culture because it feels like you're not. 3, 2, 1. Metallica, and what does that say?
I went with Nirvana and Taking Back Sunday.
Hey,
Okay, it's Bruce
Metallica.
Springsteen's band. Wouldn't that be the E Street band? It says Bruce Springsteen's band on my thing. Okay.
It's hard, I know,
The
baby.
International Airport in Venice is named in honor of which locally born explorer and writer. But you play this game in a pool. Okay, you play it in a pool, just go with that.
Wait, play what in the pool?
This game.
Don't
What
say
is the name
anything
of a
more.
game you play in a pool? It's a person's name, but you play a game named that in a
This
pool.
has to be it, because it sounds
Water
Italian.
polo international.
It sounds Italian. Marco Polo.
Please. Go chicken.
That's not Pollo. That was wrong.
Oh, sorry.
He put Pollo.
Pollo.
It's not. He said
Marco
Marco.
I got
Pollo.
the check.
You said Pollo.
Narcos Pollo.
That was one L.
All right,
That was.
Jim and Chris should definitely get this one. Philadelphia's border with New Jersey is created entirely by what river? Chris, just think
Jim is
about,
right, he's
just
very
think of a
confidently.
river that's by Philly.
I don't know
cannot
rivers
believe
by Philly.
You guys are so bad. Yeah, I know, right?
When you're on Long Island, you don't know rivers.
I know.
But I'll come up with one.
All college grads.
3, 2,
All
1,
three.
go. Flip it.
Long Island River.
The Philly River?
The Delaware.
The Delaware River.
Oh my God.
Chris is stupid.
Wait, what was it?
The Delaware.
Oh, it was
Washington
Delaware. Okay.
crossed the
I'm happy
Delaware on
Jim got it
Christmas
right.
Day.
Come on.
I'm also going to teach you guys some history while we're here. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You're okay. I don't
George
even know
Washington.
who wrote these questions.
Christmas night,
but-
stab some people, crossing it.
You know what? I'll fight you right now, Jemai. I'm just kidding. The airship era of passenger flight had a quick demise.
Wait, what? Airship error.
What? Airship error?
What German-made ship disastrously crashed in New Jersey in 1937?
Oh my God.
Not the Titanic.
Shh, quiet. Quiet.
Before you put it down.
Airship.
I put Titanic. Chris is like, no, it's not it.
Okay.
I mean, who
Ready?
knows that?
No, I know. Flip.
Zach, come on. Zach.
It's the
Zach,
Hindenburg.
I know the Hindenburg.
Zach knows
Okay.
that.
Knew it was a
Zach
Zeppelin.
knows it.
Okay,
You know
this is
stuff
an
like
important one. This is the worst school ever. And they are not in the same league as Seton Hall. And they should just not even show up to places because they're embarrassing. And
that.
their nickname is the Scarlet Knights, and no one likes
I
them.
think I'm right.
Oh, now everyone gets it.
Rutgers! Yeah, I know that.
A hard boo for
Let me
Rutgers.
tell you something. Anytime, let's talk colleges. Let's do stuff like
Why
that.
does Jim Miller have so many points?
Okay. Bad Medicine is a hit song from the 1988 album New Jersey by what rock band? Think of a New Jersey-based rock band.
Cassandra, I'm here.
Think of
No, don't tell me.
Do you want me to
Don't
give
tell me.
you a
I got it.
Born in the USA,
No.
I was born
and Jim
in
didn't
the
try. It's Bon
USA.
Jovi.
I was
It's Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
It is
Yo,
Bon Jovi.
the other- hey, yo, I didn't.
Real
the other
last
day,
name Bon Jovi.
The other day, I
can't
didn't
believe I
know.
got that
I don't
right.
know. Hey, I don't know who Bon Jovi is. When
How
they
about-
told me, when they showed me a picture of John Bon Jovi, I thought it was Lex Luger. I was like, who is that? Lex
His
Luger?
son just married 11 from Stranger Things. All right, it's between Chris and Jim here. Daniel has got himself out. What New Jersey university? Well, too bad, Daniel. You love colleges.
School.
At over,
I don't care.
I don't know what this question is saying. What New Jersey university has at over $4 million each, the largest endowment per student in the United States? It's the New Jersey-based university with the largest endowment per student.
Oh, gosh. Oh, I know.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Princeton. Good job. You won Jersey
Wait, there
trivia,
has to be a
Jim.
tiebreaker.
You get the
can't
belt.
just both win and then he wins.
You don't have 4 points and he has 5.
We just both won.
Okay, you want the tiebreaker question?
I don't know how. I don't know
It is
how.
the second largest
Jim,
theme park in the United States
Oh,
with
got it.
world-class coaster, safari,
Got it.
3 kids area, and
I'm
Hurricane
saying it
Harbor.
faster. I'm doing it faster
Let me
than
see.
him.
You already lost.
There we go.
when
You
wanted
lost.
it.
You already
No,
lost.
it's also
You
Six
answered it.
Flags.
You already
It's
lost.
wrong.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What
Oh,
is
Six
Sorry.
Flags Great Adventure, I guess.
Yes,
yeah.
that is right. Who said
I
wrong?
was trying to
That
act
was Zach
like
Candy.
I was trying to pretend I didn't see you coming. I was wondering if I just didn't pretend. Hey, you know what, Jimmy? You know what's crazy?
Would you have got that
I would
question
do
right?
this.
I would make
Oh
him.
my God,
yeah.
we have a cheating scandal again?
No.
You guys.
It was Weidman. It was Weidman.
Who's
I
cheating?
definitely did not cheat on
Let's look
anything.
at the tape.
Oh, it was Weidman.
That's Daniel Cormier's assistant.
That was Weidman.
Cormier!
That was the Weidman.
Cormier!
That
She's
was the
looking
Weidman.
up the answers.
She's Googling things!
She's Googling
Watch
things.
this.
Watch when she finds out she's on camera. She's looking.
Oh, she's cheating.
Oh! She got caught.
Oh!
Cassandra.
Cheat
That is awful, Cassandra.
Jim, who's spinning the wheel?
What?
Who's spinning the wheel?
Spin the wheel?
You could also spin the wheel if you want
I don't want to get up. You can spin.
Oh, gosh. I'm hoping for mirror affirmations. All right. Opposite accent? Okay.
So you're going to
Like
break down
Islam.
Dustin Poirier's
Like
strategy
Islam. As Islam.
without a New York accent.
Okay.
As Islam.
No.
Whoa.
You got to break down it with the Russian accent. Brother.
All right, now. This is Carolina Chris and Dustin Poirier. I got a couple things for you to do in this fight. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to walk across the octagon, and you're going to stop those takedowns, all right, boy? Don't let him take you down. But if he's about to take you down, you know what to do. We go for that gilly. If you ain't doing a gilly, you silly. So make sure you get that done, boy, and you're going to be just fine. I reckon you know what to do, so get it done.
Oh.
Good job, Chris.
Once again, Chris Weidman.
You know,
Chris Weidman was in a show with Kevin James.
Kevin James should have you on his show, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I'm an actor now.
Yeah.
Kevin James, if you're watching, call Chris.
Yeah.
He's ready for another starring role. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, since we just did New Jersey trivia, let's do a little tri-state
Hey, what is
fight
that?
action here.
Hey, what was that?
What is the golden pineapple? What was
Did
that?
you see that shiny
what
pineapple?
was that? Okay.
Anything shiny gets my attention. I'm like, whoa, I want it.
Yeah,
You know what the pineapples mean?
Welcome. It's an international sign of welcome.
You know pineapples?
Yeah.
That's what it
Like
means.
upside down pineapples? You never,
Here we
seen
go.
that before?
What that mean?
That means you're into like swinging.
What?
I didn't know that. I found that out, and then I was like, so some people in my
RJ
neighborhood, they're like, you
immediately grabs the
gotta look for those like carpets.
It's
that
gonna
have
fall
the
over under that
pineapples.
shake, yeah.
And I go, I've been looking for those pineapples everywhere, and then I go to my house, my wife's wine, and I realize that our welcome home mat has a pineapple on it. And I go, is my wife looking for something? I'm like, what is happening right now? I have the pineapple. I was looking for like a year.
What is wrong with this guy right
I never
here,
even
man?
noticed I had my own pineapple.
This dude's crazy.
Yeah.
Was it right side up?
I don't know. It depends where you're looking
Your perspective.
from.
Yeah,
the perspective.
Wow.
Wow, Chris.
Okay, well, once again, a reminder that the UFC 302 weigh-in show is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Man, what a show this has been. We're really learning some things, but let's move on to a safe topic because Chris just got real weird on us.
Chris is
That's what we do here on the
Let's go
weigh-in
into
show.
our
We get
top
weird.
3 unexpected UFC stars. So some fighters essentially take longer to break through to fans and resonate than maybe others do. Dustin Poirier, Sean Strickland are great examples of that. It was very obvious that both guys have elite skills, but it took a little bit longer for them to become fan favorites in the sport. So I want to get started with everyone's top 3 unexpected stars in the UFC, starting with DC.
All right, for me at number 3, I got Sean Strickland. Nobody would have thought that Sean Strickland would become this person that everybody is drawn to in the way that he does. And I can tell, by numbers and the people that watch when you're doing something with Sean Strickland.
Like a YouTube?
It's massive. Like YouTube, yeah. At number 2, Chael Sonnen. Nobody thought that Chael Sonnen would be who Chael Sonnen is. Could you imagine
that's a good one.
Chael Sonnen actually hosts shows on ESPN now, and he's always on TV. Chael Sonnen was a guy that was on the prelims, one fight before fighting Anderson Silva for the belt. But he just recreated himself and became a person known and had so many fans. And Colby Covington. Colby Covington did it mid-career. He started as a normal wrestling kid that would win fights, a lot of them being pretty boring. Nobody cared. And then he decided to talk, and once he started talking, he started headlining everything. So Colby Covington, for me, is probably my most least expected star to come into the UFC.
My number 3 on my list is Alex Pereira, with how quick it happened. Right, here's a guy that
doesn't speak English.
Yeah, doesn't speak English.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Very quiet demeanor, and he goes out, he fights, and just sends people into the shadow realm.
Doesn't smile.
Kind of shows you that still fighting does lead to.
Exactly.
You don't need all the extra.
Yeah, you don't need the show that goes on outside the octagon. And like I said, it happens so quickly. Like, here's this guy's a megastar. Number 2 is Charlie Olives, man. Oliveira. He had nearly 20 fights before he went on his run.
Yeah.
And he was, a winning fighter, but he didn't put it all together. There was, lots of wins and losses in those first 20 fights or so, and then hits his stride and becomes a massive, massive star. Now, granted, he's had his amazing fight style the whole time, so people should love him. And my number 1 is Strickland. Here's a guy that fought at 170s for a bit. Had a motorcycle accident that could have easily ended his career.
I gotta say something. Ever since you put this trucker hat on, you've really opened up.
You're a different guy.
It's like a switch. I turn on a switch.
Jim, you crossed your damn
now
leg.
he's got bangs popping out now. Like,
Look at him.
Who is this
Backwards
guy?
hat, Jersey Jim.
He's better looking.
The moment he put that fucking hat on,
and it might be the belt too.
It might be the belt.
That's around the same time.
I snuck a couple shots of vodka in between. Yeah.
Take him to the Wicked Wolf in Hoboken later. He's bartending tonight. Jim Miller. Yeah, A10 to Jim fucking Miller with one hat. We love it.
Situation on
Sorry, we interrupted you. Okay, it's my turn. I have a very similar list to everyone. What did I start with? Number 3 was Charles Oliveira, just like you guys said. And I love the fact that we're talking about people that might not speak English but have such a hardcore English fan base as well. We just saw a Q&A where Charles Oliveira's fans were going at Arman. And they just ride for him, but maybe when he was earlier in his career and he's 4-4, he didn't have that fan base, but he has certainly proved himself.
And earned it.
Yeah, he has earned it and proved himself to UFC fans around the world. Sean Strickland, like we all are talking about, the motorcycle accident, he was kind of, middle of the pack there, moves up a weight class, finds all this success, finds a voice. and makes the most of his time on the microphone. Agree or disagree with what he says, he's always going to speak to his fans and do everything he can to connect with them, and he's always purely himself. And the number one is Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno was the last seed on season 24 of The Ultimate Fighter. Shout out Team Benavidez. And he was out first. He got cut from the UFC. He had to compete in LFA before they brought him back. Had a couple of fights, and then he just went on a tear. Another guy who's truly himself. He's like McLovin. He's a nerd. He loves collecting, Funko Pops and Legos and all of that. But he is a beast inside the octagon, and he's true to himself. He's never saying anything that you don't believe. And so that's my list.
That's a great list.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Chris.
All right, well, top that. Where's my list? All right, at number 3, my man Jim effing Miller. I mean, this guy's been in the UFC longer than anybody. He's got 46 fights now?
44.
And I feel like just recently the people have came behind him and have finally given him the flowers that he deserves. Now there's talks of him being in the Hall of Fame, which most people agree with other than Daniel Cormier. But that's something we should battle and talk about a little bit later. But I'm happy to see that he's getting the star power that he deserves. Michael Chandler. I mean, I've seen this guy. I've known him since the wrestling days. He was in Bellator. He fought overseas. He comes into the UFC, and I wasn't sure. I didn't think of him as really turning into a big star. And then he gets the mic after his first win, and just steals the show. He does like his best Ric Flair impersonation, and now he's fighting Conor McGregor. The guy has literally turned into a bona fide superstar. And then George Masvidal. I remember when he fought Al Iaquinta. Al Iaquinta beat him. That's when Al was famously cursing out the crowd afterwards because he was being booed. But nobody was that mad because Masvidal wasn't, even close to a star yet. He was, I wouldn't say middle. He kind of like win some, lose some. He wasn't a championship material. And then boom, it was the flying knee against Askren was the first one, and then Nate Diaz fight. And now he's a superstar.
I love that one. Jorge Masvidal certainly is a superstar. All right, we're talking about this because Dustin Poirier is one of the biggest stars actively on the UFC roster. And Daniel, he's well aware, like we kind of mentioned in the show, that this is his last opportunity to earn the undisputed title. It's been his goal, he said, since he was 17 years old and started fighting. When you know it's your last chance and gold is on the line, what are the feelings like in the lead up to that fight? And maybe if you can recall for you, because your last fight had a title on the line, what was it like during the walk and in those moments when Bruce is announcing you?
Once you get into the environment of the actual fight, it's just a fight. You're not thinking about this is it for me, this is the last time I'm gonna make this walk. It's just a fight. It's in the build when you start really taking note of everything that you may have taken for granted over the course of the other 20, 30 fight camps that you have done. But Dustin Poirier has not said it's not over. This is Dustin Poirier's last opportunity for a title if he doesn't get it done. So I can't imagine he is going through the same type of emotions that I'm feeling. But I think for him, knowing that he's fought for the belt now 3 times, winning the interim title, he fought for the BMF title and lost. I think for him, he recognizes if I don't get this done this time, I don't know what type of fights excite me going forward.
Sure.
Because there are big fights that excite you. But the ones that ultimately get you on high alert, the ones that make you work the hardest are the ones that you fight for a championship. And Dustin has done that numerous times. But right? You start to feel the pressure of it. And I think he wants that. That's why he's bringing his daughter for the first time. She's never watched him fight. That's more pressure. A lot of people always watch Dustin. But bringing his kid, knowing it, it's a massive opportunity for him.
I remember in Boston, your kids
I did. Yeah, well, that was different.
It's not easy.
No, it's not easy to do. But I went through all my fights before I brought my children. And then, no disrespect to Vulcan, but I figured, favorable matchup, I'm going to bring my children because I believe I'm going to win. Right? Then you win, and it's all good. Then you win again, and it's all good. But then they got to see you lose. Now, I have a photo of me losing to Miocic in Anaheim, and my children are just crying next to me in the back of the locker room, and it's like with all the executives from the UFC. That's the other side of it. But he has to have dealt with that, knowing that he's got a very tough matchup ahead of him. So it's a big deal, big moment for Dustin.
For him to come out publicly and state that this is his last opportunity to fight for the belt, that puts tons of pressure on you. But his mindset is in such a good spot. He had this line. He always has these good one-liners. If it's meant for me, it won't miss me. And so that kind of counteracts the pressure because he's putting all the work in. And the outcome of the fight is not something he really has control over. He has control over himself to do his best, but you don't really know what's going to happen in this sport. So when he says that, that's him tricking his mind to taking that pressure off to relieve it, because it is a lot. You know, the truth is, it probably is his last fight for the belt. And having his daughter, Sweet Pea, here for the first time ever, I mean, that's an additional pressure. But he's doing such a good job as he's evolved, and he's got such great experience at this point of knowing the mindset that you need to have to go into a fight. And I think he's as good as you could possibly be mentally to go into this.
Is there something to be said about when you're young in your career, there's almost a naive mindset where you're not sure of like how bad you could feel if it doesn't go your way, when later you maybe have more nerves because of the feelings?
I think absolutely. I think we all, you know, if we stay in it long enough, right, and you do it enough times, your outlook on fight night or even camp, right, it changes. And for me, it's like early in my career, I would get myself so like worked up into like this like just super excited state, you know, and like I didn't need people saying cliche, you know, stuff at me like Rocky sayings and stuff like that. Like in my head, there was this unknown. I was about to go step into a cage or the octagon with somebody that was going to try to beat me up, and like it would get me fired up. And then at some point, I was like, man, like I'm losing some of these fights because I'm not getting out of that tunnel vision. Mm-hmm. I'm not seeing enough. And then it was like, all right, calm down a little bit, calm down a little bit. And nowadays, like, man, when I'm warming up in the back, I'm having a tough time, not smiling, and like I'm watching the younger fighters, and like, man, I've been there. Like,
yeah, you're taking note of everything.
I can see the butterflies in your stomach right now, man. Just embrace it. This is fun. Yeah. Like you're doing something that you always wanted to do. It's awesome. But like being able to deal with those emotions and deal with those nerves it's a tool, it's a weapon, it's something.
And that comes with experience, right,
yes,
Jim? Like
absolutely.
That's experience. Like that's not. As a young kid, you're fired up.
Yeah.
Like I remember sitting in the back. I would literally try to make myself sleep. I would go and lay down every time. I'm like, I need to sleep because otherwise I'm going to burn. Just sitting there doing this burns energy. Yeah. I would literally put myself in a state where I'm like, Dustin can do that. Mm-hmm. On the verge, and that is what he gains from the McGregor fights.
Yeah,
there's never been anything bigger.
Well, we are so excited for this main event. Islam versus Dustin, two of the best in the game. There's so much on the line here, obviously a title, pride, everything. So that, of course, is your UFC 302 main event, the only place you can watch it, ESPNplus.com/PPV. Guys, we have one final game. We're here in New Jersey. The boardwalk is famous down the shore. You bring your family, your friends. You can maybe have some adult beverages when you're in your 20s and not maybe remember all your time there. But we're going to play some boardwalk games. Jim has the belt. Jim picks the teams. 2 on 2. We're playing
Jim,
Pop the Balloon, Can Smash, whatever that is, and Ring Toss.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, team-wise.
Hold on, Jim. Can you say?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, thank you. All right.
I was gonna mix it up and like
Can someone tell me
try
what
to bring things
can
together,
toss
DC.
is?
But I don't know.
You just gotta knock your cans off with the back.
Okay, and then we have to get
Jim, me and you.
the loop-de-loops on there.
Me and Megan, or you and Chris staying together? I'll keep Megan.
Let's
I want
try
Megan. I want Megan.
Just for that. No, me and you. Like we're gonna.
I was trying to think you.
Don't let him push you around. Don't let him push you around. Megan on the boardwalk. Okay, so you got to pick who's doing what, right? One of you's gonna do the darts. One of you's gonna do ring toss. One of you's gonna do bags. Which one? So you each got to do one, and then one of you does 2.
I'll do this one.
Okay.
I can do that.
Well, I can do. Which one do you want to do?
All right.
What do you?
Or I can.
I don't know.
You're the champ.
I'm probably.
He's gonna go darts.
I feel like
I'll
I'm
go
more
ring
confident
toss.
with this
Okay,
one.
okay, then I'll do this
I
one.
don't care about that. You do it. I do it.
Okay.
And then like, are you timing us?
It's timed. Yes,
Oh.
timed by team.
How
So
many
you guys
balloons?
are watching, talking shit.
Oh, we're just watching.
You just got to get one balloon.
Yo, shit.
Yo, you're wearing a T-shirt on the show
One
now?
can,
They try to be like
but
me,
you got to
like-
knock every can off.
Oh,
Every can.
we only need
Down
one
or
of those and we have
on?
to
It's
knock
one of each.
all of them off? Okay.
So there's your darts.
Okay.
Oh boy.
There's your
Well, I
ring
don't wanna
toss. And
interfere.
who's doing bag? So you guys are just talking
Wait,
shit.
Jim. Let's put them first.
No, you can't. It's too late. You're going first. They just said you have to go. It's too late.
You're the champ. You're the champion.
I
He's
agree.
doing these two,
I
I'm
agree.
doing this one. So
I agree
I'll
with my
start over here.
teammate.
All right, wait. Can you explain the? I'm just.
Megan.
I'm
You're just trying to
here.
pop
No, I
one
thought Chris was
balloon.
doing that one.
Oh, one balloon.
Just one balloon.
Put it right
These
here.
are like these don't even have anything in them.
Oh.
And then-
You're already complaining.
Yeah, I am.
So you do need to do the ring toss.
He's doing the ring toss.
Well, he's got to. Well, okay, but he's got to like transition. So you can be right there. So as soon as he goes.
Well, what do you want,
Can we have
Chris?
the rings here?
Chris,
Ready to
do you
go?
want me to do the rings? He said he felt more comfortable with it.
Okay. No. You go ahead.
All right, guys, we gotta go. I gotta go soon.
Okay, so give me the rings.
My God.
I gotta say
Replaying.
And so once Chris pops a balloon, you can go, Megan.
What's in front of the line, Megan?
Oh my God. Uh-oh. Oh no, one broke. Okay. Oh, there we go.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Now I need bags or something?
Are we sure this one works?
The bags are on the table. Yeah.
Oh,
let's go. Yes.
Oh.
We might have to miss this.
Not
Like
like
you tried.
Oh my God.
so close. There's no way. I mean,
This is like impossible.
it's hard.
Okay. We're getting close.
Go a little closer.
Now
I go here?
Yes,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, see, I wanted to do that.
What?
Don't throw it hard. Just don't throw it hard. Oh my God.
I really failed this. I'm so
guy's not
sorry.
an athlete,
It
man.
was
This
1
guy's not an
minute.
athlete.
Okay, you guys have to beat 1 minute.
Okay,
Yo,
give it.
good luck on the ring toss.
I
I
messed up on the darts. I was confused.
I need more rings here.
Look at all my spots.
more
It was in
rings.
one spot.
I'm gonna grab this other
I had
bag
to
of
throw
rings.
800 rings.
Cassandra can't give you. She can't help you, DC.
No.
Look at Cassandra.
I have to go do something in 3 minutes, I think.
Oh, his foot is over the line. Foot behind the line. Don't.
Oh my God, please don't
over
hurt
the
yourself,
line.
though.
No. Your foot can't be on the line. His foot's on the line.
Okay,
All right,
ready?
good. Now he
3, 2,
failed.
1, go.
You lost.
Oh my God.
Oh,
my God.
man.
Oh, it didn't wow.
His foot's over the line. Give me over the line.
Give me. Dude, stop cheating.
Yes. You're
Stop cheating.
terrible.
Dude, stop cheating.
You are terrible.
He doled them up.
There we go.
There you go.
Bring toss. Oh, man.
Go close, Jim.
Oh, that was
Jim,
not
don't
good.
waste all the time going far.
He has to.
No, he
It's
doesn't.
hard,
That's what
Daniel.
Megan did.
It's hard.
DC can't throw.
Okay, now she has a chance. Now he has. Remember, that's how long Megan took. Jim, and go, Jim. Go, Jim. Go, Jim. Go, Jim. Go, Jim. Go, Jim.
Okay, see? Vindication
That's
for
it. You
Megan
go
Olivi.
walk, Jim.
Good job. Good job.
You gotta get
All three. Last one.
Give him a bag.
8 seconds.
Dang it.
And always.
Grab the belt.
All right.
As always.
I'm sorry I let you down, Chris.
It's okay. It's okay. It's my fault.
All right. No. Oh, let's watch the replay here.
Guys, I got a rule. I'll catch you on the
Is
next
this for
one.
your tea time? Is that why you're
No,
leaving
it's
us?
not for my tea time. I gotta go do first take, guys. I'm not trying to be big
Oh.
dog. I'm not trying to be a big dog, but I gotta go do first take, guys.
He's gotta go do a king.
See you guys on first take.
And I guess we will probably see you guys another day. There's Daniel Cormier running for live television. We appreciate you joining us. Taylor Ham for the win. Thank you so much to our sponsor, DraftKings. And, of course, the Bud Light Genie for making an appearance during his very busy schedule. Jim and Chris, locals, what did you think of joining the weigh-in show this morning?
It was great.
I love the food. Yeah, I'm coming back if there's more food next time.
Okay, yeah, no, me too. I would like to add my resume
I
for
wish that
consideration
we
here.
got kind of hosed in the charades.
We got hosed. We had the way harder guys.
I host Chris with the games. Thank you so much for watching.
Taylor
UFC
Ham for
302
life.
goes down Saturday night live from Brick City, baby.
And he didn't even throw him.